What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. There we go. There we go. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your illustrious host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? It is a beautiful Wednesday, November 6, 2024, year of our Lord. Can we give ourselves a round of applause? Can we give ourselves a round of applause as we get started with the show today? I am excited. I got so much good news to share with you guys. What's going on, friends? Yeah. Oh my God, as I drink to your tears of joy and sad and sorrow, because I seen dog, you will not believe the amount of emails that I got last night. And I woke up to this morning of all of y'all on social media, not my people, obviously, but all of these people on social media that were crying. Oh my God. Oh man. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. I got a phenomenal show lined up for you guys today. But let me tell you why I pushed the show back a little bit. I'm going to tell you why I pushed the show back a little bit. So usually I will go live somewhere between 9 and 9:30, something like that. Last couple days I went live a little bit later, and today I decided to go live at the time that I'm going live at because Kamala Harris, contrary to her sore loserdom last night, is expected to make a concession speech in roughly an hour and a half. Okay, so we're gonna do a whole 2 hour plus show for y'all today. This is a special day. I am also going to be appearing on Fox News tonight. Yeah, you know they had to put that. Anton, I'm gonna need you to appear on Fox News tonight, so you can catch me on Fox News tonight. Laura Ingraham, the Ingraham Angle. We gonna have some conversations. I'm definitely gonna give y'all some insight as to how Trump was able to acquire this victory and what it took. A grassroots ground and pound. I told them people, I said, Michigan is mine. What makes you think that Michigan ain't gonna be red? You know what I'm saying? So we here today. We here. Yes, I see so many grown men in their femininity. But I don't know why they crying. You know what? Because the interesting thing about this whole thing, and I'm gonna get to the housekeeping. We're gonna get to the show. We're gonna get popping. The interesting thing about this whole thing is we are basically dragging along these silly liberals. We're dragging them to the thing that's actually best for them. It's like children. They're literally like children, right? Because children get mad because you don't let them continue to crash out. Oh, okay, I want to run away from home. Okay, go out there. It'd be snowing, blizzard. No, you can't run away from home. And then they start crying, right? Oh my God, I can't. Look, come on in the house. Come on to this warm house where there's nice food in it. You know, you can play you some video games. You might even be able to call off from school tomorrow because it's snowing outside. You know what I'm saying? So right now, us making America great again, getting back to the money. The stock market is booming. Crypto market booming. I just came from a site. They already starting to pour my concrete, my foundation. If any of y'all has watched my video on the Anton Daniels channel, we already started to break ground on the third property. Fourth property, we about to run the money up so crazy. Stock market opening up. Tesla is on record. Everything is booming. Cryptocurrency is running it up. Everybody done already started to get money. He ain't even in office yet. Let me give ourselves a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? We booming already, and it ain't even 24 hours since they called the election. We already done ran it up. Shonda. We booming. Oh, it's going to be a hell of a show. So I plan on covering, again, I pushed the show back a little bit today because I plan on covering her live concession speech, okay? I plan on covering her live concession speech because she was a sore loser last night. So we definitely going to get there. We're going to get there, all right? If you've been here more than once, I would invite you to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, because we cover everything, and we want to make sure where it comes back down to the money, and we definitely want to make sure that we get America great again. We got to make it great again. Secondly, if you would like to, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. That's your reasonable admission. We don't necessarily advocate for y'all to necessarily do anything except for enjoy the show. Make sure you get this medicine inside of the candy. Tap into the Patreon. We got a live stream this weekend in the Patreon, specifically going over how we going to benefit in the stock market now that we know what the election results are. All right, so that's coming this weekend. Stock Club is going to be popping. Also, make sure you get your tickets to come and kick it with me in person in Detroit. December 14th, it's going to be popping, and I'm going to be touring all next year long. I am in such a good mood. We covered the after hour. We covered the election on After Hours last night. It was awesome. It was great. So we got to get to the show, all right? First things first is quick hits. I'm going to be reading the super chats, cash apps, everything throughout the show. And we just going to block off 2.5, 3 hours today, just in case. All election, all day long. That's what we going to do. We got a hangover on victory. Today. And we going to get to it. We getting back to it. We closing off the borders. We running up the money. We no longer running in the Victim Olympics. We not going to be sitting here negotiating with y'all on whether or not you can delete babies as a form of contraception on a federal level. We not doing that. We back. We back, baby. We back. And I believe that America had to suffer. God had to show us what we had got away from and what benefited us so much. And we had to go through these last 3.5, 4 years. And oh, you know what? We did have it good. The grass wasn't greener on the other side. And I told people, I said, America has basically going through a whole phase. Y'all don't want to hear me though. America, listen, it's like the prodigal son. America basically just went through a whole phase. 2020 through the end of 2024 was America going through a whole phase. That's what we experienced. Straight up, no cap. Let's just get straight to it. I'm going to tell you what just happened over the last 4 years. We thought we was better than what we was. We said, don't really matter. We going to do what we want to do. We can be rebellious. Just like children rebelling against their parents. We had it good in 2016, 17, 18, 19. We ran up the bag. We made money. We got bigger than our britches. We started talking tough to our parents. You know what? You can't touch me. I dare you to say something. He said, all right, go on out there and move out on your own. See what's going to happen to you. See what's going to happen to you. Move on out. Go on over there with that boy and see what he do to you. Go on over there. See what happened. And that we thought that he loved us. We thought that he loved us because we forgot that Obama left us and he never really did anything for us. And his lasting legacy was with the alphabet community. And so we went back to Biden and then he gave us Kamala Harris. And we said, oh, wait a minute. It's a drug deal going on over there. I'm not used to this. It looked fun until you seen a roach crawl on your face. I seen people getting evicted. I seen people losing their homes. I seen people getting their cars repossessed. Everybody was out here trying to figure it out. They started robbing, killing, dealing. Interest rates went out the roof. Migrants started coming on over. I said, oh, we want to go back home. Let's make America great again. Talking about a chart, a new way forward. God said, get back to the core of who we are. And so people woke the hell up. Now in Chicago and Illinois, we don't know about them. They still over there on the plantation. They getting their taxes raised and everybody trying to move out while at the same time they still staying blue. California, we already know that they're going to be over there. Sodom and Gomorrah, we just going to wait for the earthquake to go ahead and just section them off. We're going to build a wall around them and get Snake Plissken over there. New York, ditto. They in shambles. They got Diddy locked up over there and they still staying blue. So the rest of the country, oh yeah, let's not forget Colorado, where migrants literally is taking over apartment buildings. They decided to stay blue also. But the rest of the country, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one more. Minnesota. Gotta send Tim Walz back home. Y'all go ahead and take Tim Walz back with y'all. Send him back with his blankie. All the rest of the country said, listen, we back. We gonna get to the money. We gonna run it up. We gonna throw money in the air. We gonna go to the strip club. We back in our parents' home. We saving money. We safe. And we done with our whole phase. We done with our whole phase. We going back to the thing that we loved in order to make sure that we run up a bag and we gonna get back to making this money, loving on each other. Y'all gonna get yourselves in line? Yes, you are. You gonna get yourself in line. And to the black community, you got some work to do. But to my fellas and to my ladies and my good ones that decided that they wanted to paint the country red, we back, baby. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. Yeah. Before we get into the election, we got to keep y'all up to date on what's going on throughout the country because there is a couple little dots that we got to deal with. So I'm going to be reading Superchats shortly. I'll be covering the whole show. We going to get there. But we got time today. I clocked in to work. Listen, look at this. Look, see my computer? See my work computer? I done clocked in to work, but my computer didn't went into sleep mode. They don't even know. I didn't even clock in. I was missing like 2 weeks of clock ins. I went ahead and filled out my timesheet. We going to get there. We going to get there. So they got me clocked in at work, so I'm making money over there. We going to get the money over here. Trump is back in business. I got my contractors on site, and we going to absolutely, positively give you everything that you need in order to stay informed on what's going on out in these streets. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Come and see me in Detroit on December 14th, discount code Anton. And make sure you tap into the Patreon. A link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos on the Patreon. Let's get it. I love it. I appreciate it. We got Stock Club. Quick Hits is up next. Let's get it, y'all. Yeah, Quick Hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily feel like we need to dedicate an entire segment to each individual subject, but we definitely want to make sure that y'all stay up to date of what's going on across the country so you can make informed decisions on how to make sure that your life is better than the life you left behind, and we not going a new way forward. We going back to the thing that we got to. Back to the thing that made us rich in the first place. All right? Quick Hits, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, new details in blue Chicago. Now, Chicago is blue, all right? And they still over there killing police officers. This is the 4th police officer killed in less than 2 years over in Chicago, and they got a 2,000 police officer shortage. Take a look.
We're learning more details about the circumstances behind the deadly shooting of a Chicago police officer, Enrique Martinez. The 26-year-old was approaching a stopped car in East Chatham last night when a suspect opened fire. The burst of rapid gunfire caught on the Citizen app video. We are going to share a short portion of that clip, but we do want to warn you that it may be difficult to hear and see. Two people in connection to that shooting are now in custody, and a second person inside that car was killed. And there's now outrage today over the young officer's death and what led up to that shooting.
Can we build a wall around Chicago or no? Y'all ready to build a wall around Chicago? Because, see, I don't even think it's all of Illinois. I think it's Chicago. But then at the same time, y'all got a Democratic governor in J.B. Pritzker. Y'all ready to build a wall around Chicago? Because say that they don't know better. Chicago decided that they still wanted to stay blue. They killing police officers, they got machine guns, and you got a school teacher that's running the city and raising property taxes.
Our Joni Lum is live with more of those latest developments.
I know about the Navy Pier one. I know about it.
Ryan, Chicago police officers all over the city learned this tragic news, and they are in mourning today. We are at the 6th District, where Officer Enrique Martinez was assigned. His colleagues here said to be especially upset because...
Hey, where's Eric D at? Is Eric D in the chat? Is Eric D here, or did he take the day off? Because he never take the day off. He usually in the chat. Where's Eric D in the chat? My resident liberal, we got to make sure we bring him to the front of the congregation.
Officer Martinez was a young officer who was eager to protect Chicagoans, had his whole career ahead of him. Mayor Johnson today talked about the city's grief and sorrow.
We are calling for swift acts of justice to bring the individuals responsible for this horrific tragedy to justice.
Don't worry about it. It's just a large gathering. We don't even want to stay in Chicago. Chicago is a hellhole at this point, and I can't wait to continue to hold y'all accountable all through 2025. Another police officer. Anyways, in addition to that, Jason Kelce smashed the phone of a fan who allegedly used a homophobic slur, and this is what happened. Check it out.
Jason's a big-time player.
While Jason Kelce spent part of his Saturday celebrating with college football fans, this heated interaction now raising eyebrows. It started as Kelce walked among the crowd outside Penn State's Beaver Stadium.
Kelce.
Then,
hey, Kelce! How does it feel your brother's
after someone shouts a homophobic slur aimed at his younger brother Travis, Jason's seen grabbing an unidentified man's phone and slamming it to the ground. Video obtained by TMZ Sports shows the man pushing Jason before the former football player repeats the slur. On social media, fans sounding off with mixed reactions.
Personally, I love it. I don't understand how in today's society we feel like we can say and do anything we want to with zero repercussions.
Neither of them should be using gay slurs. He's still not a...
This is the liberal left, ladies and gentlemen. This is what they do. This is how they... Her name is Junk Mom, for example.
Good person for using the gay slur back.
Swift has found herself at the center of political debate recently after her endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris for president in September.
And that brings us to another thing. As Taylor Swift, oh man, this is going to be a great show. As Taylor Swift and all of these celebrities that was looking to get absolved from Diddy charges, Beyonce, Cardi B, Usher, baby, Plies, Charlemagne, all of these celebrities that decided that they want to endorse Kamala Harris for President of the United States of America. Listen, we don't care. Nobody cares about the opinion of celebrities anymore. It will not change anything. We don't care. Kelly Rowland, all of them, throw them in the trash. They have no influence and no impact on what we're going to do with our vote and how we're going to decide who the president of the United States of America. We don't take life advice from celebrities anymore. We don't take life advice from people that's so far removed from what's happening. We don't take life. And all they did was steal y'all money. If you don't think that Glorilla and Meg Thee Stallion and all of these people is basically they got paid. So y'all should feel like fools. Y'all should absolutely, everybody that gave to the Kamala Harris campaign should feel like absolute fools then raised all of them billions of dollars, and all they did was give it to celebrities in order to endorse them, and your money gone forever and you don't get nothing from it. You should feel like a fool. J-Lo, nope, ain't gonna be no immunity for y'all. Ain't no forgiveness, ain't no none of that. See, when Trump was pardoning people, when he got Lil Wayne out of jail, and he got my homeboy Kwame Kilpatrick out of jail, and he pardoned Kodak Black, and he started getting people out of jail, you didn't appreciate it. Okay, so as we go through this Diddy trial, nobody getting no pardons no more. Pardon party is over. The pardon party is over. It's over. It's done. And Kamala, she cool, but she gonna go back to Dougie. She ain't even tripping about it. Let's continue.
Former President Donald Trump posting, quote, "I hate Taylor Swift." But even before that, the superstar's massive fame drawing extra attention to Jason's brother Travis Kelce and the whole Kelce family.
Travis and Taylor have taken it to another level.
In June, Jason opening up about the spotlight.
Yeah. We don't care nothing about that. And then last but not least, the stock markets are booming today as a result of Donald Trump winning the election last night.
Good morning and welcome back to a very special edition of Squawk Box. If you are just waking up right now, NBC News now officially projecting that Donald Trump has won the presidency. Dow futures are up literally right now more than 1,000 points on the back of that news. You're looking at a lot of green on your screen. Looks like the Republicans have taken the Senate. We're still waiting on the House. Let's take a look right now, though, at Tesla shares as well. Those shares soaring this morning, 15%. You're also looking at shares of Trump.
That's crazy. Come on, man. If y'all not a part of Stock Club, y'all need to wake the heck up. If y'all not a part of Stock Club, everybody already getting rich. Even the people that voted against Trump, you welcome. You welcome. Everybody is getting money.
Media right now, we can show you that, up about 25%, maybe more. It is quite something. Yeah. One of the things that we were talking about, by the way, on that front, which I don't totally understand, is you would think, given the role that Elon's going to play in this administration, either X is going to be, this should be either a boon to X or a boon to DJT and Truth Social.
Get the
How
likes
it's a boon
up,
to
y'all.
both,
we got almost 10,000 people in here in YouTube alone, and the likes is only at about 2,000. Come on, run them likes up. That's your admission. And if you've been here more than once, then you need to subscribe to the channel.
Completely sure.
I know. It's not Sirius XM. I don't understand.
So that part I still am a little bit mystified about.
They're at one point they were almost equal in market value. It's got to go. DJT has to go up another 10-15%.
Robert Frank is here, folks. Yes, join the Bag Chasers around. We're gonna run it up. Join the Bag Chasers on Patreon. We live streaming this weekend. We going into it. I teach you the 8 things that I look for when I'm looking to invest in a company. I'm not going to do it for you. All I do is give you the information and show you the receipts. So y'all need to make sure y'all tapped in. Stock Club is going up. Patreon is going up. We going to run it up. Y'all ready to get into the show? We don't even want to talk about this. We want to get straight into what happened in the election. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your quick hit. All right, let me go ahead and read some of these super chats, and I'm going to be reading them throughout the show. As a 21 future entrepreneur, I'm very excited. You should be. Sincerely, Jonica. What up, Jonica? What up, Jonica says, what a phenomenal day to be an American. Trump 2024. Anton, thanks for the consistent and informative reporting that you do to wake Americans up from media propaganda. God bless you and your family. So I want to see these celebrities. I want to see Cardi B read at the same rate that I read at before y'all start taking advice from her next time on who to vote for. Eric Wealth Harris says it's a great day to be an American. I agree. V Nicole, what up, V? I see you, V. V in the building says, the Democrats are forced to eat crow today. The meltdowns are epic. America will be great again. Donald Trump ain't even took office, and we already getting to the bag. Jeremy Bradford says, roly-poly, Van Jones and Joy Reid is punching in the air right now. Yeah, we gon' revisit them. T. Wright says, I really cried this morning, y'all. It's a great day. Tears of joy, baby. Thank you for standing 10 toes down. Shout out to Thailand 25. Thank you for standing 10 toes down and providing so much value and information. I love you, and thank you for holding me down and supporting what we do over here. So many beautiful black women have been celebrating Trump's victory on TikTok. I got to touch a bag after this. C. Hayes says, thank you for being a voice for us black men. May God continue to bless you and your family. Thank you, C. Hayes. Ray says, ninjas acting like the apartheid is coming. If we made it through X, we can make it through this, weak freaks. What up, Aztecian Prick? Says, good MAGA morning, my friend. Cheers to a victory in Iowa and Michigan. Black Republicans took over. Now let's leave the tethers for good. Leave the ghetto culture for good. Make nerds great again. We back. Sam of the God says, dim tears taste good. Telltale Walk says, I was a bag chaser, but now I'm really a bag chaser. Lost a female friend realizing it's got to be a lot more, so I'm tapping all the way in. Listen, it's always another bus coming down the street. Donovan Bell, I appreciate you for holding me down. Cozy Jake says, I'm ashamed of my fellow Illinois residents. Trump, only Chicago, not Illinois. I'm working in my red hat and my socks is going up. Yeah. Chuck Brown says, folks in the DMV are literally crying this morning. Trump literally washed her, and it wasn't even close. I said that we was going to paint this hole. I said it was going to be a landslide. Thank you, Anton. Because of your channel, I was able to get a fair perspective on this election. I didn't realize how much the Dems controlled the media and manipulated us into thinking that the Republicans were bad people. Me too. I was once closed off and closed-minded based off of the things that I was taught. Marcel, what up, though? I appreciate you. Forsaken Archive says, I told the liberals on IG we're going to celebrate Project 25 all day today. I am Annie Marie says, I got that super sticker for you. What up, Deshaun? I appreciate you. Big Mark Boxing Savant says, they are salty cool. 1 Timothy 2:12, stop denying God. I like that. Zach says, the people who are really crying are all the illegals. Eric Wealth Harris says, Van Jones says some heartfelt thoughts about women's rights and I can't wait to cover this all year long. All year long. Twister Pup TV says, morning AD, I just had my first combo with a crying Trumpy. It's going to be a long day. Olga Network coming soon says, Trump 2024, let's go. Ray says, migrant Miguel quaking in their boots. And Eric D. 50 states minus 13 colonies. God damn. 47, 47, 45, 47. Sorry, meant Harris supporter. I know what you meant. And I just became a chaser. Shout out to the new bag chasers. If you're not a part of the Patreon, the link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Ties Did It says there's been an insane amount of people being so hateful over this election since Trump won. It's sad to see. That's all right. We love them all. We love them all. Shout out to Larissa. I love you, baby. Ty Boxer 67 says, while my body, my choice is important, inflation, taxes, migrants, and the economy comes first. Mississippi, Masala. Couldn't get that. Couldn't get that. Nick is Florida says, I drive school buses in GA, and when I tell you how far people have gone, so far gone as parents out here on their own praising children praising chameleons, shaking my head. Mind you, these are elementary kids. That boy Nietzsche, what up Nietzsche, says crypto market is going crazy, stock market is going crazy. Thanks Americans, first Republican to win a popular vote in 20 years. Anti-only vote for winners. I said to myself, may the best man win. Feeling amazing. Let's go, baby. The media, no headlines. 4 years is coming. Tia, shout out to Tia, says, you better thank a union member. And 17, Lord Fire says, brother Anton, do you know the best part? Kamala has to verify the votes and count the votes. Ooh, that gotta hurt. She has to count how many people don't want her as president. Let's continue with the show. I am going to be reading Super Chats all show. So while we get to it, let's just get to a summary of what happened, okay? All right? Trump did declare victory over Kamala. Well, I don't even want to go there yet. Let's go here. Let's go there. Before we get to Trump's speech, all right? Before we get to Trump's speech, can we talk about the fact that Biden or Kamala Harris has not surfaced at all? That the Trump campaign has not heard from Biden at all? Can we spend 10 minutes basking in the sore loserdom that we see happening across the liberal space? I see so many people. They done took the rainbows off of their book bag. Good, because it was a covenant between God and man that he would never flood the earth in order to completely wipe away all of mankind anymore. Good. 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 Snatch that rainbow right on off of your backpack and turn yourself back over to God. Oh, it's not gay no more. Turn yourself back over to God. So, let's get to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. The Trump campaign has not heard from Biden or Harris. Let's deep dive into it.
Joining us right now on the heels of a very exciting night, Trump 2024 National Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Caroline, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. It's great to be with you today.
Oh, there's my guy, Eric D.
So take us inside
Eric D.
the
What
Trump
up, Eric?
bubble last night. At what point did he realize he won?
It is an incredibly surreal morning, and it was an incredible night for President Trump and our team when we saw the returns from Georgia and North Carolina and just the trends across the country. President Trump picking up historic gains with Hispanic Americans, black voters turning out for President Trump in numbers this nation has never seen before. We felt very good very early in the night, and all of our hard work, our ground game, and President Trump's work ethic and determination ultimately won. Last night, the world witnessed the greatest political comeback in American history. And throughout this campaign, our boss, President Trump, has faced more adversity than any candidate to ever run for office. They tried to imprison him. They forced him to take a mugshot. They tried to remove his name off of the ballot. They forced him to sit in a dirty courthouse for 6 weeks. 2 people tried to kill him, for goodness sake. And the American people see in Donald Trump, it is clear, a leader who, even in the darkest of times, is going to lift his fist in the air and say, fight, fight, fight for this country. And President Trump last night didn't just defeat Kamala Harris. He defeated the big tech oligarchs who have tried to censor him, the weaponized system of justice against him, and he defeated the fake news media that has been lying about him and his supporters and this MAGA movement for years. And I just know in my heart that President Trump is going to be a president for all Americans, even those who didn't vote for him yesterday.
And you know what the funniest part about it is that even though y'all hated him, even though you tried to kill him, even though you lied on him and said that something was his that wasn't even his, Project 2025 was never his, but they didn't have no talking points. Even though you tried to lie and say that he was trying to eliminate reproductive rights, which I don't agree with the fact that y'all out here using the elimination of babies in order as a form of contraception in the first place. But he said, listen, we just gonna take it back down to the states. Even though you lied on him and tried to say that it was him that was eliminating it, when in reality, he just gave it back to the states. Even though you tried to take his life twice, even though y'all had classic election interference, even though Fawny Willis and Andre Diggins down there in Atlanta was flying up when they should have been focusing on the YSL case, they was flying up and meeting with the Vice President of the United States of America in order to file charges to try to paint this narrative. I had a conversation at the Pistons game the other day, and I said, what is you talking about? He's a felon. They filing charges against him. I said, what they charging him with? What did he do? I don't know, but I can look it up. Yeah. Typical. And no matter what, when man says no, it's not up to them. It's not up to them. When you doing it and you doing it the right way and you doing it for the right reasons, I need you to understand that this is a classic example. When man says no, when they rebel so much against you, it don't matter if the whole world against you. Because if God is with you and if it's meant to happen, ain't nothing that nobody can do to stop you from getting what's yours. It's yours. It's yours. You talking about a man. Think about what we got here, because we are literally witnessing history in real time. You're talking about a man that never had to run for president of the United States of America in the first place. He was already filthy rich. There's nothing more patriotic than to not even take a salary and then to ultimately make sure that you put yourself in harm's way, get your ear shot off, just because you truly believe that America had gotten so far off track from what the core is of what made us great in the first place, and then to have the whole world turn against you, knowing that the whole world is going to turn against you, and you still going to serve all of these people anyway, even though you know that they bad as hell, is nothing more patriotic than that. They need to make another spot on Mount Rushmore. Honest to God, they need to make another spot on Mount Rushmore. They need to make another spot on Mount Rushmore and say, hey, listen, we no longer going to even consider these people. And the liberals, they got a hell of a job to do. They got some work to do. They done went so far off the reservation that they now talking about eliminating babies, and they had Planned Parenthood pulling up to the DNC, and y'all thought that that was going to work. To all of my liberals in the chat right now, answer me this question. Did you really think that that was going to work? Did you really think that y'all was going to bully men, specifically black men, into going to the polls and you was going to shame us. Did you really think that Obama, and, I'm going to get Michelle on him. I'll get Michelle. I have no problem going to get Michelle because I sense that my fellow black bros are choosing not to vote for Kamala because she's a woman. And I don't want that misogynistic sentiment to resonate in this election. Man, we don't give a flying F what Obama think. What makes you think that we care about what Obama think? Where is Obama? Where has he been? Chicago is in shambles. The very place that he ran out of where he's building his presidential library, they're raising taxes by $300 million. They got a $1 billion projected budget deficit coming up in 2025, and they don't know how to pay for it. And you know what they're doing? They taxing the citizens. I'm going to get Michelle on you. So, go get her. And you not my mama? You're not my mama. Who is Michelle? We don't care about what you think. Man, if you don't go get your ears somewhere and sit down, you done already got rich. You got your Netflix deal. You're making your money. Go sit down somewhere. Go get Joe a blankie. Y'all tried to give it. You know what the worst part about it is? Listen, we're going to be recapping this for a long time. Let me help you to understand something. They tried to give us Joe again. They know Joe can't even think for himself. They tried to give us Joe again. Ain't that crazy? Oh, my friend Joe. Oh, Joe. Ha. And Kamala Harris, she's going to bring you more housing, 3 million new homes by the time that she leaves office. We don't need no more homes. We got an affordability crisis. We can't buy the ones that's available right now. What's wrong with y'all? Need no Obama? Obama. And then they going to bring out Bill. Bill, did you ever admit that you actually got some head in the White House and that you sold out the American people by allowing for China and the North America Free Trade Agreement to then take our jobs and ship them overseas so that you was really the foundation of the housing crisis that ultimately manifested itself in 2008? We need an apology from Bill. And Bill, he gonna try to make up for it by giving us Hillary. We almost went for the okie doke. Y'all let Hillary Clinton win the popular vote in 2016. Do you know how disastrous that would have been? Y'all almost let us get a woman president that's completely unqualified because Bill got some head in the White House. Talk about simping in a demonic Democratic Party. And don't think that we gonna be some sore winners. Nope. I'm not the type of person. Listen, let me tell you something. For those of you that may not be familiar with what it is that we do over here, let me help y'all to understand something. I am not a gracious winner. I'm not. I remember every single thing that y'all said. I remember when you called me out of my name. I remember when you said that I'm the C word. You know what it is. You know what they call you. They call you Uncle Ruckus. I can't believe it. We don't like black men. We want to eliminate you, forget you, so on and so forth. Okay, cool. Well, guess what? Now you want us to have grace. And everybody keeps sending me, everybody that's in my family and stuff that was against Trump. Well, you know what? Jesus is king. He wasn't king when you was trying to vote for the person that was eliminating babies as a form of contraception. He wasn't king when she was kicking out them protesters when they were saying Jesus is king, Christ is Lord. That y'all didn't want to have. Listen, I've never even heard her say the name Jesus before in her. Say it. Say his name. Say his name right after you say Laken Riley. Because I need you to repent. I want all of these liberals to go back to their hellhole and repent. Repent. Ask for forgiveness. Because this ain't even just about an election. This was about all of these black pastors. Come on, man, let's talk about it. Forget all of that. Let's talk about it. This is about these black pastors that allowed for this woman right after she had a pride shirt on to get on top of their pulpit and petition for y'all votes. I ain't forget the Jamal Bryants. Yep. Spike Lee's. Yep. All of these gospel singers, you wanted to be a part of the world because you ain't have nothing to stand on, and so you think that we forgot. Nope, we ain't forget. We ain't forget. We got your name on the whiteboard right there. I got a whole list of people on the whiteboard. Charlemagne, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, D.L. Hughley, cornballs. We done with these people. We done with these people. The people have spoken. They no longer hearken unto your wicked voices. No longer are we going. They tried to make it seem like Trump was racist. Since what? Well, if he was so racist, then why did he create opportunity zones in order for y'all to invest in the neighborhoods that y'all trying to leave out of? Why did he even pardon some of the black people, some of the most prominent black people in your community on his way out of office? Why would he do that? A rising tide lifts all boats, and that's okay because we going to gloat. I am not a gracious winner at all. I am not a gracious winner. Usher, Plas, all of y'all. I am not a gracious winner. I think that we need to rub it in their faces. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Let me take a piss and tell you that it's raining. Just for a second. Just for a second. Because no, remember? No. Let me tell you why I'm not going to be a gracious winner this time. Because I remember when they tried to make us get the jab. I remember when they tried to get us to take the jab. I remember. You're not going to make me forget. Remember when they tried to make you to take the jab in order for you to go to work? They said that you was going to lose your job if you don't take it. I don't have a short memory. I have a long memory. I don't have a short memory. I have a long memory. I remember when they tried to force that mess on our kids. And we just supposed to forget. Why would we forget? You tried to force that mess on our children. We didn't even know what was in it. We didn't even know what was happening. I remember. Nope. No revisionist history. None of that. That was all under Democrats, 100%. I remember when you let Miguel and Jesus in here without being vetted and they was over there raping that 5-year-old girl over there in New York. I remember when they was over there terrorizing people, not the Central Park 5, the Central Park migrants that had children over there beating people up over there in New York and shooting police officers. I remember that. I remember when y'all said defund the police. Yep, I remember that. You said defund the police and you let the monsters come in and take over your neighborhood. I remember all of it. You're not going to make me forget. I remember record inflation. I remember that. You know why I remember it so much? Because I had my own people, my own bag chasers, and some of them suffered as a result of it, and they was getting laid off. And I had to pay for some people's funerals, and I had to pay for some people's rent in order for them to not get kicked out. Because, see, we a community, and we support our own. And we don't wait for y'all to do nothing for us, and so we don't need no handouts. We just need you to get out the way. I remember every last one of it, and you're not going to sit here and try to have revisionist history. We didn't. Nope, you did. I remember when you walked into the girls' bathroom and you was a boy and I had to go in there and make sure that my daughter was okay because y'all tried to say that a woman is whatever it is that you believe it to be. I remember how you tried to remix the word of God and say that, oh, he just loved everybody unconditionally. Nope, that's not what the word says. It says on condition. If you keep my will, if you're persecuted for righteousness' sake, I remember how you tried to remix it and make the rainbow to be something that it wasn't. You stole the rainbow. How you going to steal a rainbow? This ain't Lucky Charms. I remember. You're not going to make me forget, and we going to remember but we going to drag y'all along. We going to drag y'all right on along. We going to drag y'all along in order to make sure that y'all get y'all due. And you're going to get rich too, but not before you repent, because you're going to have to pay for every word that you said on the face of this earth. We're not going to forget nothing. Let me read some of these super chats and we're going to get into Trump's speech. Shout out to Devontae. Devontae says, AD, you need to pat yourself on the back. I'm a firm believer that the pandemic led to a boom in the independent content creator space, and people like you gave an alternative to mainstream media, which opened up so many eyes. Shout out to all of y'all. And listen, let me say this too before I read the rest of the super chats. It's not just me. It's y'all. Y'all are the ones that held me up. Y'all are the ones that encouraged me, and y'all are my co-hosts. Y'all are my co-hosts. Nobody in here is a fan. Everybody in here is a friend. Remember that. Remember that. Y'all know I'm the same person in person as I am online. Donovan Bell says, what up, Rich Boss? Now that we're going to make America great again, what do you think that are the money plays of the Trump presidency? We're going to get into that in the weekend. And this weekend in the Patreon, as Texian Prick says, I'm curious what the victim hold community is going to do. They had all of the smoke for black men, and the weak men sides with them. So now what? They're going to continue to run in the Victim Olympics, but we going to bring them along. It ain't hump day, it's Trump day. I like that. Let me get a round of applause for that. Kevin, a software tester, says Biden is just as happy as Anton this morning. I believe that Biden is happy about it. C Wisdom says, good morning, family. We have to continue to pray and keep the nation informed because haters don't change overnight. We're not trying to change them. We just going to keep doing what we do. AD, been rocking with you for a minute. I knew you was right. We not listening to identity politics. Make America great again. Shout out to you. High Tolerance says, good morning, AD. I had to troll my sister and bless Larry Reed's Sassy A platform with a super chat. Told them make the next 4 years the best 4 years of your life. And in doing so, you better thank a union member. I love that High Tolerance. The Lucid Experience says, re-signed up for the Patreon. Trump 2024. Shout out to 20% off. 20% of the black men that made a difference. Is really time to get to the bag. Sean is in the building and says, they mad as hell and blaming us black men already. Shaking my head. She literally was not the best fit for America. Don Julio Trump for the dub. Keep rocking out, AD. Love USA says, big thanks to the minorities and illegal immigrants in this country, including Asians, black, Latinos, who really pushed Trump to the top. Shame to all the white liberals who are so anti-common sense. Forsaken Archive says, call somebody in your family. Nope, not right now. I'm gloating. Concession speech dropping at 6 p.m. Nope, it's dropping shortly. My husband is so happy this morning with the election. AD, he went straight to buying stocks this morning before it opened up, and I bet you he benefited from it too. AWOL says, children and women operate alike and need to be under the covering of God-fearing, Holy Bible-abiding men. I agree. Did you know Cormorant, Minnesota voted in a dog as mayor? I don't know nothing about that. Eric Wolf says, the whole country red with a bloodbath. I appreciate you. Shout out to my girl, Mika, held me down last night. DC and MD still decided to be hoes and voted blue. That's all right, Mika. We're going to get to that bag. My mother is in my family group text, and to not talk to my brother, sass me in the Facebook is DMing talking sassiness. Wealth Building Journey says the mandate is loud and clear. Trump 2024, 45, 47 back in the office, but dropping this off in the collection plate. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Eric D in the building says, Anton, your boy won. Congrats. You were spot on about the election. I respect the will of the American people. Give Eric D a round of applause. He was such a gracious reason. Razik says, what up, Anton? You got to pull these celebrities, IG and Twitter. They all upset blaming black men, and it's hilarious. Oh, we're going to do a lot of reaction videos to that. Other than that, stay well. Life is good and steadily getting better. Love is love. Shout out to my dog, Razik. I love Razik. Organized. Let me read a few more, and then we're going to go over to the next thing, and I'm going to continue to read Super Chats. MAGA24, if you weren't locked in before, it's time to lock in now. It's about to be a lot of money to be made in the next 4 years. We bag chasing. I like that. Shy, what up, Shy? Says, I love that us high T men, high testosterone men in America came together and took our country back while telling these lip chicks to stay in your lane. Rest in peace, KS. He looking down, smiling. We got all three, and we won the Senate. That's crazy. And the House. Pulled over to celebrate with my bag chaser. Shout out to Antonio Watkins. These clowns are going to learn. This is the year of the bag chaser. Either you roll with us or you getting rolled over. Talk to him. Young Haiti says, good morning, Eddie. What happens to Tim Walz and Harris? Well, Tim Walz go back to being the governor of Minnesota, don't he? We're going to follow up with Tim Walz. I know he got some tampons on deck. Shout out to my dog, Chris James says, yes, say less. Already prepping these holiday bonuses. Yeah, I'm going to continue to read Super Chats throughout the show. But let's go over to Trump and what he said last night in his concession speech, all right? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock out. And we will be looking to cover Kamala Harris's concession speech. I believe that it's supposed to start in the next 37 minutes. So we're going to be on top of that, y'all.
Thank you very much. Wow. Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends on this incredible movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
And J.D. Vance, let me just tell you, Trump got the next 4. I think J.D. Vance got the next 4 and the next 8 after that. J.D. Vance is a savant. He is one of the most intelligent people. We got a hell of a lineup in the Republican Party, and J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, Byron Donalds, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK. I consider him a Republican now. I'm sure that they're going to be cabinet members. I think that we have the toughest lineup of politicians that's actually willing to work for the American people. We are in the golden age in our lifetimes. I'm not sure that it's going to get any better than the next 12 years. The next 12 years will be exciting. It will be the golden age. This is boom town. We're going to make so much money, and we have to be very, very careful with how we leverage it, because I don't know what happens after that. But for the next 12 years, we are absolutely going to make history, and we're going to make more money than ever before, and we're going to close off our borders, and we're going to make this country great again.
But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
Yeah.
And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body. I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
I'm going to be reading the Superchats and Cash App shortly, y'all.
This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it, because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that.
The fact that they won a popular vote is insane to me. That means that this country was really fed up over what they experienced over the last 3.5 years.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, winning the popular vote was very nice, I will tell you. It's a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good.
And this means that we'll actually be able to get something done, because now you don't have people blocking you in all of these other legislative branches that prevents you from being able to actually secure our borders, lower inflation, make sure that we pass legislation that benefits America, drill and leverage the resources that's right up under our feet in order to make this country great while paying down the deficit, making sure that we lower taxes so we can create American jobs, put the tariffs in place. Listen, I know China is one. Oh man, we got so much to talk about, y'all. If y'all not subscribed to the channel, you're missing out. We got so much to talk about. Listen, the Chinese automakers cannot destroy the American manufacturing economy anymore. They can't dump cheap steel over here. All of the steel workers, you're welcome. All of the American manufacturers, you're welcome. He's saving you. He's going to save you from your liberal husbands and your liberal wives that tried to tell you to endorse Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Sean Fain, you're no longer going to have a seat inside of the Harris-Biden administration White House. Your hopes are dashed. Sean Fain, president of the UAW, listen, I'm going to be calling people out left and right for the next month and a half, all the way up until January 20th. The next month and a half, I'm going to call out every single person that tried to absolutely destroy this country in order to benefit themselves. Sean Fain, president of the UAW, we saved your union from you. We saving your union from you. Yes, we are. Now we can get some stuff done. Now he ain't got to worry about all of the prevention from them giving him everything that he needs in order to secure our borders. Remember when they was fighting tooth and nail in order to prevent him from being able to secure our borders? Well, we ain't got to worry about that no more. We gonna get some stuff done this next 4 years.
And the Senate races in Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, Michigan,
Shout out to my Ohioans.
Wisconsin, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, were all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much. And in those cases, every one of them, we worked with the senators. They were tough races. And I mean, the number of victories in the Senate was absolutely incredible. And we did tele-rallies. We did tele-rallies with each one of them. And sometimes we did 2 or 3 and it was amazing to look at all of those victories. Nobody expected that, nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady.
His son looked just like him, except he's taller. Jesus, look how he's towering over my man that's sitting over to his right, or to his left, our right. That's crazy.
Who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that? Oh, no, she's done a great job, works very hard to help people. So I just want to thank her. But I want to thank my whole family, my amazing children, and they are amazing children. Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, Laura, Jared, Kimberly, Michael, thank you all. What a help. What a great help. My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous. And we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia, don't we, huh? She would be very happy right now, standing on this stage. She'd be so proud. She was a great woman.
Is he 6'8"? Is Baron 6'8"?
Inside and out. She was a great woman. I want to be the first to congratulate our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance.
Look at how his wife is looking at him. His wife is so proud of him. Hey, man, we getting back to the core of who we are. Traditionalism is back in style. Traditionalism, all these weirdos out here, we done with them. Traditional households is back in style. Welcome back to the 19 traditional times.
And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife, Ushabez. And he is a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I've said, go into the enemy camp. And you know, the enemy camp is certain networks. And a lot of people don't like to, sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay. Which one? CNN, MSDNC? He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks fun. He's like the only guy I've ever seen. He really looks forward to it, and then he just goes in and absolutely obliterates them.
He did. The dude is a monster.
Say a couple of words.
Wow.
I'm actually excited for these people.
Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America. And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Thank you very much. He's turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning, but he was, I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets. And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now, we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country. We want people to come back in, but we have to let them come back in, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in legally.
And I don't know why that's such a difficult concept for people to process. We cool with immigration into the country, but we want the best and brightest, and we want them to come in legally because we want to vet them, and we want to make sure that that they're not emptying out prisons over there in Venezuela, and we getting the worst of people that's over here starting gangs. We running them up out of the country, man.
We also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris.
Shout out to all the new bag chasers.
Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden, we call her the Ice Maiden. Come here, Chris. Come here, Chris. Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background. Come here, say something.
This wasn't expected, but I just want to thank, obviously, President Trump for this journey. It was a great one, and he's a hell of a candidate, and he's going to be a hell of a great 47th president. And this team that we had, the best team, and, of course, even my boss, Susie Wiles, the best. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Susie.
You know what's so dope about him is that he's not taking all of the credit for himself. He's spending all of his time acknowledging all of the people in order to make sure that he get them some shine and acknowledge the work that they did behind the scenes too.
Look at her, she's shy. I've never seen her be shy before. Susie, they're great. Everybody up here is great. Everybody up here is very special. But the Trump, who did you say? Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he is. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of Pennsylvania campaigning. You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks ago, and I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was. When it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. I said, what happened to your paint job? He said, we've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat. And but I saw it come down and turn around. And it was, you know, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning. And I'm saying, only Elon can do this. It must be an Elon. And I tell the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound. I was talking to a very important man, happens to be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, you know, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again, so I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold, and especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the gantry. And I said, oh, no. And I said, do me a favor, do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this. I thought it was a space-age movie or something. I put the phone down. Bad part, I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash. And then I saw the fire pour out from the left side, and I put it straight. And it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it. And just like you hold your baby at night, your little baby. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you? He said, yes, it was. I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No. Nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. And you know, when we had the tragic Hurricane Helene, and it hit North Carolina, they were really devastated, the water. This was a big water, as big as we've ever seen, water hurricane. It built lakes out of nothing. Fields became lakes, and the danger was unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication. So I called Elon, and I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires were down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called Starlink. Is that right? Yes, I do. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system that's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina. Can you get it? He had that there so fast. It was incredible. So, and it was great. It saved a lot of lives. He saved a lot of lives.
So basically, he was being presidential even when he wasn't the president of the United States of America. So while we were sitting there trying to figure out, and Kamala Harris was doing photo shoots, Biden was nowhere to be found. People was trying to apply for that little funky $700 while they was funding Ukraine, and Zelensky was getting blank checks. Trump was over there making phone calls to obviously the most powerful, to the Iron Man of our time, and said, hey, listen, man, we need you to get over there and make sure that these people can communicate, and he was taking care of business. And that's how we knew it was a big difference between the people that we were painting a picture of and we were marketing versus the people that was actually on the ground taking care of business. And so I would prefer in a disaster and economic times that are difficult. We got these ongoing wars all across the nation. That's bad. We continue to put money into NATO. I want somebody that actually represents my best interest. We don't even have to like each other 100% of the time, even though I think that he's a very much likable person. But I need somebody that represents my best interest. I ain't got time for all of that other foolishness. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and read some more of these super chats. And then I'm going to go into Kamala Harris real quick. We're going to talk about her, all right? Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. Says they called us every name in the book, and it still didn't work. Trump 2024. That's a fact. We don't care, though. We good. We going to run it up the bag. Rago Park says, I watch you daily. I'm a former welfare kid, successful entrepreneur. The trash, the working class, the same people have spoken. Identity politics is dead, and woke is dead. And let's leave it buried where we found it. Let's leave it out at sea. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Gordon. What up to Anthony Gordon? Walked outside, and it smelled likely low interest rates and cheaper groceries already. Antonio Watkins says all extra dollars is going to the stocks. Join Stock Club. Shout out to my girl Mika, says thank you, AD, for conservative POCs. Women like me, a chance and a voice. And y'all make sure y'all go and subscribe to Red Cup Talks podcast with Mika. That is my homegirl. We live stream together. And I absolutely am looking forward to being back on her platform soon. To Shayla, what up, Shayla? Says, and now that the boss man is back in office, I'm proud to announce hubby and I are welcoming our number 4 baby in January. Shout out to the Chasers. We love Shayla. And my wife loves you too. Be Easy 333 says, Mike Epps says 4 to 5, 4 to 7. Ross B says, as a police officer, it feels good that Donald Trump, for the sake of my job, to have Donald Trump for the sake of my job. Law enforcement needs a leader who will support us. And you know I support y'all. Phoenix, what up, Phoenix? I love Phoenix. What up, Phoenix? Says my stocks went up by a whole $175 this morning. Welcome. You don't need no stimmy checks. All we need is to unleash ourselves. Boom, 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 boom. 4 to 5, 4 to 7. Shout out to you. A man is in the building. Says good morning, AD and the Chasers. Yeah, it's Trump season. Who this? Says hold on, let me get that up there. When they found out Cam wasn't speaking at the watch party, it looked like roaches when the lights came on. Well, I'm going to continue to read those super chats, but let's talk about it, and then I'm going to go to the Cash Apps right after that, all right? Let's talk about it prior to her actually supposedly being scheduled to speak today to address whether or not she's going to concede and give up this election and step on out of office. We want her to be a good loser, not a sore loser, although a sore loser is more entertaining. Let's talk about that for a second, all right? I was streaming last night with me and my friends. Me, Carrie, Mika, Quentin, Slimmy. We got on Slimmy yesterday. We was on top of that. But I was chilling with my friends yesterday, and we live streaming, and we catching the live streaming, and we watching everything that's going on. And we were showing not only what the election results were, but we were also showing what was happening at the Trump campaign and at the Trump headquarters and what was happening at Howard, where she thought, and apparently the people were hoping for a victory. Listen, you can't convince me that they didn't know that they was going to lose this. You can't convince me that they didn't know that they was going to lose it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it even a little bit. I believe that they knew right away that this was about to be a wash. Ain't no way in the world they was going to win Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona. It was going to be a landslide victory, and he was going to win the popular vote. No way in hell that they were going to win this. And so when I seen this guy come out, I said, oh, sucker now. Oh, sucker now. Now, before that, you got to remember that I seen men dressed as women, women dressed as men. We didn't know which was which. I seen some dusty people. I seen a lot of rainbows. I seen a lot of sad faces, and they was trying to make up their own fun. And then this guy came out, and then he killed their little mishmash party, and this is what he said.
All right, we got to interrupt here. This is a spokesperson for the Harris campaign.
Good evening, Howard.
Let's listen in at Howard University in Washington, D.C.
Good evening, HU. I want to say good evening to all of the Harris campaign, the campaign family. Thank you for all that you have done. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in the promise of America. We still have votes to count. We still have states that have not been called yet. We will continue overnight to fight to make sure that every vote is counted, that every voice has spoken. So you won't hear from the vice president tonight.
Hey, whose fault is it gonna be that she lost? Because that, listen, they not just gonna take their L gracefully. And let me double check to make sure that oh man, they did move it back. They moved it back. It was supposed to be at 12 p.m. Eastern today, and they decided to move it back to 6 p.m. is when she's expected to deliver remarks on the election results. I would assume that she's crying her eyeballs off. Dougie. She probably got that ugly sniff. I used to have, listen. If you was a kid and you ever got a whooping in your life, you know what that ugly sniff sound like. The one that you can't stop sniffing and you can't stop crying, but you really want to. And your parents say another word. And I'm like, Dog, I will pay good money to see the ugly sniff. I will pay good money. Good money to see the ugly sniff from Kamala Harris. But here we are. This is the rest of what he was saying.
But you will hear from her tomorrow. She will be back here tomorrow to address not only the HU family, not only to address her supporters.
She said she needed the night off. When you get a whooping, you sleep good. When you get beat, when you catch that L, you sleep good. For whatever reason, right after you get that whooping, when I used to get a whooping when I was a little kid, I slept like a baby. It was like, and it's funny because my mother would always say, "Is the devil gone? Is the devil gone?" You sleep like a baby. You get it in.
But to address the nation. So thank you. We believe in you. May God bless you. May God keep you. And go HU and go Harris. Thank you all.
That was the weakest go Harris I ever seen in my life.
That was Howard University, the headquarters for Kamala.
But again, she is expected to speak today, and so they've moved the time. It was 12 p.m. Eastern. Now they moved it back to 6 p.m. Eastern. I will be on Fox News tonight, so we're going to be covering it live on Fox News. So make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel. But this is what the expectation is.
Craig, Hoda, good morning to both of you. We are outside the Naval Observatory, the vice president's residence, which, if this continues as it appears projected by NBC News, will soon become the home of J.D. Vance. Last night was quite a dramatic scene as we were at Howard University. Kamala Harris's alma mater there. It started as a night filled with joy and optimism, but quickly that evaporated as the returns started coming in, and it was obvious that the trajectory was not in her favor there. Many people ultimately becoming quite silent, watching the returns come in late in the evening as they were hearing one victory for Donald Trump after another. You heard a chant from some in the crowd there saying music, music, and the DJ ultimately muted the
people walking
television,
out.
giant television screen there, turning on music instead, as if to sort of boost the mood of the crowd as they waited to hear from Kamala Harris, as we just heard from Garrett. Ultimately, she did not speak last night. Instead, we heard from a campaign co-chair saying that she would address her supporters and the country from Howard University at some point later today. At the end of the day, though, this is going to be a major reckoning for Democrats to sort out exactly what happened here. Certainly, Kamala Harris faced some significant headwinds. Exit polls now showing that about 2/3 of Americans say they were either dissatisfied or angry with the state of the country, effectively saying that the country was headed in the wrong direction. How much of this is the responsibility of President Biden himself? The sense that the policies he pursued were not good enough and did not help satisfy some of the real economic concerns that.
Here's the questions that we got to ask ourselves, right? Because we know that Democrats, they don't just go away silently. A lot of times they got election interference. They do little snatch stuff, throw little shots here, plant little seeds there to try to usurp and you know, make things difficult for the people that's actually starting to get stuff done and do things in the best interest of the American people. And I asked this question yesterday, and I slept on it, and I don't agree with some of my co-hosts that was on a show on After Hours last night, and so the question still remains. I asked this question again to you guys. Do you believe that she is going away for good? I want to hear what y'all got to say inside of the chat. Meaning that in 2028, now, keep in mind, in 2028, I believe that the next person up is going to be J.D. Vance. Yep, I think that J.D. Vance is next up. Now, we seen what J.D. Vance did to Tim Walz. We seen what J.D. Vance did to Tim Walz in that debate. Do you think in any way, shape, or form that Kamala Harris is A, going to run for president again? She's still young. Her neck isn't, but she's still young. And B, do you think that she would survive a J.D. Vance onslaught? You think she even want that, or do you think that she want to go back to making her greens in the tub? Do you think that she want that, or do you think that she will go back to making her greens in the tub? Because the only other person that I see is the worst governor in the United States of America, and that's Gavin Newsom. J.B. Pritzker is running a close second over there in Illinois, but the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, is the only other person I think is gearing up to possibly make a run at it in 2028. Do you guys believe that Kamala Harris is actually interested in running again in 2028 because she cannot take her loss like a woman and she is looking to still become president of the United States of America? That is my question to you guys.
A lot of Americans are dealing with these days. Inflation, one of the real drags so far for the Democrats. But it's not just Kamala Harris who's going to have to answer these questions, but Democrats up and down the ticket, with the Senate now becoming strongly Republican. Among the things we're going to keep those eyes on over the course of the day, I will tell you, just pulling back the curtain a little bit, there was a big donor event, Hoda and Craig, that took place at a glitzy hotel not far from where Kamala Harris was.
We own everything. We control the Senate. We control everything. We're going to get some things done. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was her campaign chair that stepped out and said, hey, guys, she's not up for it tonight. Again, Anton from AntonDaniels.com will definitely be covering things. And we're going to see what happens tonight in her concession speech, and if she tries to put on a good face or if she hit us with the we gonna see. Let me read some of these Cash Apps and Super Chats, and then we're gonna continue over with the show. I got a full show lined up for y'all today, because now, next, we want to go over to these liberals. We want to go over to CNN, and we want to see what they had to say about this election, and we want to bring them to the front of the congregation. CNN, MSNBC, we want to see what Joy Reid had to say. All of these sassy people, all of these men that's feminine, we want to see what they had to say, and so we're bringing them up next. But let me acknowledge my people over here on Cash App. Ryan Farrell, shout out to you. Jesus, Ryan, you said you holding me down like that? Thank you, Ryan. Dylan K.O. says, happy Trump Day. Shout out to Dylan K.O. I appreciate you. Lou says, we won 100. We won and defeated Kamala Harris 2024. Shout out to my dog, Lou. Spencer Campbell in the building says 45-47. This is all Cash Apps. Thank you, everybody that look out for your boy ESDC in the building. Shout out to ESDC. Mike, that dude. What up, though? Robert Chapman, I appreciate you. Robert Banks says 80. How Cam gonna feel certifying her loss? I don't know, but it should be fun and interesting. Tommy, what up, Tommy? Says, make America great again. I appreciate you, Tommy. And Craig Colton says, 50 for the collection plate. Jesus Christ. Y'all love Anton from AntonDaniels.com. Let me read some of these super chats. Congress lets him implement all of the tax cuts for the middle class he proposed. Shout out to you. Wayne 704 says, I was stressing with this election last few months. Thanks for helping us through it. I got you. I told you it was going to be a landslide. Trust Time Dog. I got your back. This was a referendum on the Dem Party, says NSBTI. I appreciate you. D. Smith says, turns out killing babies is not as popular as they thought that it was. As Texian Prick goes on to say, I'm not as rich as you guys. We getting there. We all going to work there. But I'm restarting my life and from having dialysis, got off dialysis, went to work the next week, no excuses. 27, will finish my cybersecurity degree and build my food truck. Prayers up for you, bro, and I got your back. Stephen Butler goes on to say, best moments from the night besides the victory is Jill Biden voting in her red suit and then cutting the feed on the Kamala. Oh, yes, they did. We was watching it and then they cut the feed. That junk was crazy. Feel like we've hit a reset button on life and it's a good one. Shout out to Devorius Williams. I appreciate you. Anthony Richardson says, the hyenas are in there feeling it this morning. I bet you the women from The View is feeling some type of way. We going to get there. Yeah, 2 claps and 2 pinkies out that A-home. I appreciate you. Greg Charlie says, what up, Anton? Glad to see Michigan turn red just like Rodgers. Could have pulled it off. The best part about last night was Kamala skipping that speech. Man, I was cracking up. Mr. Campbell says, Anton, can you please get Ava, Molly, and Crystal and Carrie versus Jamisha, Honey, Trigger, and Alicia on the panel, please? We need that. Y'all don't want that. That's going to be ugly. No excuse lifestyle. Rocky Cage in the building says, what a time to be alive. After last night, I feel a lot richer. Trump 2024 feels good to chase a bag. Salute to you, AD. No, salute to you. Eric Wealth Harris says, someone go check on Fannie Willis. We own it. J Dubs is in the building, says, Trump told JD Vance, I'm going to send you into enemy territory. MSDNC, CNN, and others. He crushed it. What a leader. This is amazing. And JD Vance was out there serving them up. Think and Throw podcast says, smoking on that Comcam pack. LTG, Let's Talk Game. What up, though? Says, shout out to you, young AD from the great state of Washington. These dummies may have voted blue, but Trump still won. Run that bag up to the chasers. Tavorius Williams says, what up, AD? Question, if I have to live in Cali for work, would you suggest that I invest in everything in the stock market? I would. Make sure you get a Fidelity account, get a brokerage account, start off with SPY. It's going to be a great play. The best part for me was when they sent folks at Howard U home without a speech. The faces were epic. Chris James, what up, though, Chris? Says, all jokes aside, for 45-47, we've not given any excuses to Trump this term, correct? He has the House, Senate, courts, and the Amish. We don't need no excuses. We running it up. He going to take care of business. No excuses. Eddie B, AD, last night's resounding win for Trump. I wonder if this will begin to signal the end of Obama's influence over the Democratic Party. We like Obama's influence over the Democratic Party. It doesn't work. As Americans, we resoundingly ejected. See ya, Barry. And I want to acknowledge Marie 2020 says, we did it, Anton. Good morning, America. We did it. I'm going to continue to read super chats throughout the show. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. If y'all here for the first time, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. If you're here more than one time and you're here for at least a second time, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notifications and let's get it in. All right, so let's move over because the left is having a meltdown. I can't tell you how many emails that I scanned through and I was like, Jesus, these people cannot be this broken. No way that they are this broken about this election. But yes, they was. They were broken. They are broken. And I don't even understand. How you going to be heartbroken over something that's good for you? Neither here nor there. So let's get into it. This was CNN's reaction last night to Trump absolutely trouncing Kamala Harris and having a landslide victory in all of the battleground states. And he flipped the entire country red. Check it out.
The history this morning, 5:30 a.m. on Wednesday, that Donald Trump has won the presidency for a second time. This time after having served for 4 years, then disputing the 2020 election, and then, of course, rallying a mob to the Capitol to try to interrupt the peaceful transfer of power there.
This is killing her, y'all. This is absolutely bothering her and her soul. They just won't accept defeat. They just won't concede. They just won't be like, you know what? It was a good race. The people ain't feeling us. They don't resonate with what we talking about. And it's so funny because CNN always tries to act like they are a independent, not leaning left, not leaning right organization, but we know better, and they can't hide it. They cannot hide it. And so even when his victory is imminent, they throw shots, they get mad, they say that he tried to have a rally in order to, no, that's not true. But continue. We want to let y'all get y'all tears out so we can drink them. Drink them, tears of joy, we're going to drink that.
Are Americans deciding to send him back to the White House for a second term? And Jeff Duncan, as we mark this moment, I do want to take a second to reflect on that reality, because there was a point in the wake of what happened on January 6th where the Republican Party had a choice about what to do. They could have decided to convict him in his impeachment trial, which would have prevented him from running again in the future. They didn't do that. Kevin McCarthy went down to Mar-a-Lago, posed with Donald Trump, and it was the beginning of what would become another run for him to the presidency. And of course, now we know how that has turned out. Considering what you lived through, what the country lived through.
Hey, look how dead that panel is. Look how bothered they are. Look, I can't believe that she led with this to try to get the reactions from the people. And this is supposed to be a balanced news organization, which obviously we all know that it's not, which is one of the reasons why Trump calls it out. But they led with this, and they think that this is going to actually mean anything to us. All we going to do is drink. We going to drink. We going to have a good time, and we going to laugh at y'all.
What do you think it says about us as a country that we're here?
Well, I want to start by just a heartfelt congratulations or a sincere congratulations to Donald Trump. I've worked for 4 years to try to not elect him as a candidate for our party and also as president, but he's won the race and he's won it the hard way. I never would have thought we would have been here. I think tens of millions of Americans, including Republicans, never thought we would have been here. You just add up all of the baggage along the way on the time in office and the time out of office. It's uncomfortable for somebody like me who is a lifelong conservative to watch this happen, but it is what it is. I think the ball's in his court. What's he going to do with this? Is he going to wreck the car because he wants to and because he can? Is he going to sow chaos and confusion and build anger? Or is he going to actually take the time to try to fix stuff? And he's that one personality that can actually do this. Like if he just changed course and just tried to work across the aisle and put a Nikki Haley in his cabinet, showed a propensity to work with people that he doesn't agree with.
Why would he do that and he got Tulsi Gabbard? Why would he put a Nikki Haley in his cabinet when he got a Tulsi Gabbard? Why would he put a Nikki Haley in his cabinet when he got an RFK Jr.? Why would he put a Nikki Haley in his cabinet when he got a Vivek Ramaswamy? Why would he put a Nikki Haley in his cabinet when he got all of these great people that's surrounding him when he got a Laura Trump? Why would he do that? Listen, we not listening to nothing that y'all saying no more. The only thing that we care about is victory and making America great again.
It would send shockwaves through this country in a positive way.
Well, considering he couldn't campaign
right. I was going to say,
what do we think?
That doesn't seem to be his mojo, right? That's not his deal, right? He doesn't kind of heal and bring people together and say, okay, now let's come together and move forward. And I think, Jeff, you said something earlier about solving problems. What concerns me is I don't think he cares about really solving problems except for the most expedient one of not going to jail, basically. I mean, when he was talking about tariffs, what have we heard? That's going to bring inflation back up. It's going to be bad for the economy and bad for jobs. So even some of the things, if he enacts some of the things he's talked about, mass deportations, what is that going to mean in the day-to-day lives in our country and the damage that could do? And I hear what folks are saying about, I agree, America, this is what you want, this is what you got, this is who you are. Mm-hmm. And yet we will have to live with the consequences if he does plan to and actually.
We now get to have kids that can survive. We now get to end wars. We now get to save jobs in the American manufacturing industry. We now get to get richer and make a lot of money and become successful. The stock market has already reacted to it. Obviously, it makes sense. Bitcoin is just blowing up right now. I just looked at it. oh, this is what you guys wanted. This is what you get. And you know what's so aggravating about listening to these people is that they are the ones that's also going to benefit from this economy, and that's what makes it so unfortunate. Because I almost think that they should have to deal with the consequences of the person that they voted for. Yep, I do. That's why I don't want anybody that voted in Chicago to wait till they vote to move out of Chicago. Hey, don't go to Texas. I'm tired of people sitting there talking about, oh man, we moving to Texas because it's so bad here. No, stay where you at. People over in California keep on moving to Texas and running up the housing prices. No, stay where you at. Stay where you made it. Don't move from New York down to Florida no more. We done with that. We done with y'all. We no longer want, you should have to pay for your concert. But unfortunately, a rising tide lifts all boats, and they are going to run in the Victim Olympics while at the same time benefiting from Trump's presidency. It's unfortunate.
We move forward on enacting, we could have a national abortion ban. Women are going to have to deal with it. So that's what my concern is. I don't think he's someone who's going to try to bring people together or try to work across the aisle. And given the way things seem to be going with the congressional races,
you don't have to work across the aisle. We got a majority.
But wait a minute.
No more working across the aisle. We done with that.
I know we always talk about these things of bringing people together, and I don't know if that's necessarily the aims of politics. You need dissension. You need two parties going back and forth. Did President Biden bring the country together after 3.5 years?
Nope.
I know a whole lot of Republicans who would say, hell no. When you spent 3.5 years criticizing these people, calling them racist, calling them bigots, referring to them as uneducated.
Calling them fascists.
And now they've won. They've shown force. They've won. They've rejected.
So now we supposed to negotiate. And he got the most sound take on this so far. Why would these same people, even though you're going to benefit from the same policies in order to save you from yourself, y'all said some of the wildest things ever, but now you're saying, but please work with me. Please work with me. I had people that I used to work with on YouTube, and I see them. They basking in their tears. I see them with their 25 live streamers. They used to have thousands of live streamers. See, I'm just like Trump in my spirit. They used to have thousands of live streamers, and I checked on them last night, and they had 25. I said, ooh, it's a little dusty over there. And then one of them reached out to me before, and they said, Anton, please come save us. Let's work together. I said, what is it in it for me? What's in it for me? Why would I go over there and be dusty with y'all? Why should I save you from yourself when you bit the hand? Y'all didn't just bite the hand that feed y'all. Y'all tried to gnaw my hand off. You said, I said, okay, I see these little puppies over here. You keep on biting my hand. All right. Bad dog. Bad dog. I said, man, don't you realize that you're just a little chihuahua? All right, cool. All right, I'm going to go my own way. I'm going to make YouTube great again. I said, let's make YouTube great again. I'm going to show you exactly how we do this, son. You was nothing without me. I looked at him last night. I said, ooh, it's a little dusty over there. 25. Hey, look, they really only had 15 people watching. You know why? Because 10 of them was the people that was on the panel that had their things up. They was watching themselves. Sitting through all of the ads so they can get some money. Hey, 10 of them was watching themselves, and then the other 5 of them was some of their wives, and they kept telling their wives, don't skip the ads. Don't skip the ads. Don't skip the ads. Oh, let's get into drinking on their tears, y'all.
The elitism that comes out of Washington, D.C., they rejected the...
And I want my MacBook back. I want my Mac. That's an inside joke for some people that know if they know.
Elitism that has come from Republican establishment, and they've made it clear we want to go in a different direction. And I don't know why we keep ignoring this reality. Donald Trump won again by a very sizable margin for a reason, Casey. And I think to minimize the concerns that people continue to say they have about our party establishment, Jeff, about the Democratic Party establishment is not going to change things. What propelled this man to the White House in 2016 is still there. It is still there. And I think it's incumbent upon the leaders in both parties to figure out what they need to do to serve those grievances.
I think one thing, well, sorry.
No, go ahead, Alex.
No, if they want the Republicans to work with them, then they got to bend the knee. That's how you got to do it. Bend the knee. Bend the knee.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, one thing that sources are saying to me is it wasn't just that Republicans rehabilitated Donald Trump, but Democrats, including most especially the Biden White House, gave him an opening to come back. The fact is that Joe Biden, when inflation was coming back, they were very dismissive of concerns. They called it transitory. When it looked there was a potential for COVID to come back in the form of Delta and Omicron, they held a celebration in the White House South Lawn, called it Independence from COVID Day. There was Afghanistan. There was the denial and dismissiveness about the border was not a crisis. And all of those governing issues, they treated it in some ways. This is what I'm just reflecting the views of people within the administration as they're reflecting on tonight. They now feel that the administration sometimes treated it as a PR problem instead of an actual governance problem.
Well, and it absolutely created that opening. What we saw in polling during the Republican primary was that the primary message being used against Trump by his opponents, by Ron DeSantis, by Nikki Haley, was Donald Trump's gonna lose. He's a surefire loser. Go with me. I can be a winner. And yet in every poll I saw, when you asked Republican voters, who do you think has the best chance to beat Joe Biden? They'd say Donald Trump. Do you think that Donald Trump will beat Joe Biden? Those numbers were through the roof. Republicans felt confident that in a Donald Trump versus Joe Biden matchup, that Donald Trump was going to wipe the floor with Joe Biden.
And he absolutely did mop the floor. So much of a mop that they actually gave you Kamala Harris, who I think was worse. Look, honest to God, I believe that if Joe Biden had ran, that it wouldn't have been as bad as a mollywop as Kamala Harris. That's my honest to God thoughts. I believe that Donald Trump was going to beat anybody in the Democratic Party because the American people was tired of what they experienced over the last 3.5 years. However, I think that the Democratic Party got embarrassed last night. In my life, I've never seen an embarrassment the way that I seen it yesterday. I mean, he won a popular vote, for God's sakes. He won a popular vote. That means the majority of Americans voted for him. And he turned every single battleground state over into being red. It was an embarrassment. It means that people are 100% like, this party is just too weird for me. Too many weirdos, too many people that don't brush their hair. Nobody is brushing their teeth anymore. Men are sleeping with men. Women are sleeping with women. They want to eliminate our babies. They want to give them gender affirmation. They want to let men walk in women's bathrooms. I watched the Olympics. It was men beating the hell out of women in the Olympics. All right, listen, we're a little too weird. We done went way left. The left is radical. It's not even a moderate platform anymore. It's too radical. And then when they start letting migrants in, look, two things. You can't let migrants in while people are broke without vetting them. That's a problem. You can't lay people off and replace them at the same time. You can't have a population of 40,000 people become 60,000 people after you just have a wave of migrants just come in and then they just take over everything and then now you got to share your infrastructure while people is broke. One thing that people can't deal with is just like women. America is a woman. America is a woman. You may not believe so, but I'm telling you, America is a woman. 100%. Ask anybody in the chat. America is a woman. She can put up with a lot of stuff as long as the money coming in, but most people get divorced because the money dry up, because there's money problems. She can listen, she not going to leave if you cheat on her. Not the first time at least. Okay, you cuss me out, you call me out of my name, all right, I forgive you. As long as she got a warm bed to sleep in, because when she hit them streets, she gonna be like, oh, even if she cheat on you, she gonna be like, oh, he don't really love me because he kicked me out. as soon as he got done with me, I'm going back home, skipping. I'm going back home. She may not ever tell you that she cheated on you. But let me tell you something. When the money is funny, even if you were he's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man, Savannah. She'll work through it. Hey, we got kids together. We gonna forgive each other. We gonna work it out. But listen, the money get funny. You keep talking about you an activist. Keep being on the corner preaching. Oh, he's a good man, Savannah. Because they gonna be like, look, you gonna have to. Every woman that I done coached gonna be like, they get on the phone. They said, Anton, this is a situation. I said, so what are you thinking? She said, I can't do it. He gonna have to pick a struggle. You can't be cheat and broken. You can't cheat on her and break her with no money at the same time. So you telling me she ain't even got no ability to go on a girls trip or leave or go back to her? She got to go to her mama's house? Oh, no. And that's the same thing that happened with America. That's the same thing that happened with this election. You can't let migrants in and be having a bad economy at the same time. You talking about inflation is bad? And you giving money over to Ukraine? And Zelensky is walking over here and getting $60 billion checks, but I can't send my kid. I can't get a full tank of gas. And I'm looking at this person speaking Spanish and he don't know no English. And he don't know where he, what you doing? Wait a minute, I can't lose my house and have somebody buying it that don't even look like me that don't speak English. Okay, all right. And that's when women started doing that. They do what the women do. You know what they do? Okay. Because they stop arguing with you. That's how you know you lost her. Because if she's still arguing with you, because I can't believe you just keep doing this. Because you just going to get it. I'm sorry, baby. Come here. I love you. Buy her a little gift. Get her a new car. She'll be all right in the morning. She going to get it together. Because she going to realize she got that good heat. She got that good car. But when she stopped crying and she said, okay. What you doing? What you mean? Come here, baby. Let's talk about it. I'm good. Okay. It's over. That's what the American people did to the Democrats. That's what the American people did to the Democrats in this election. They said, listen, you're not going to cheat on me and have me broke out here in these streets. Nope. And you keep trying to put your hands on me? Nah. And you got somebody walking in my bathroom. I seen urinals inside of the women's bathroom. Nope. I'm not going to have it. No, not today. We're going to go ahead and make America great again. 4 to 5, 4 to 7. 4 to 5, 4 to 7. You're going to have to pick a struggle. You can't have both. Either you're going to have money, but I'm not going to be dealing with this nonsense. Anyways, let me continue over. I had to give y'all, I like to break things down from a C student's perspective because that helps y'all to be able to relate to the situation that we're dealing with. Sometimes we don't know what we're dealing with. But if we break it down from a C student's perspective, then you said that's exactly what you did, Robert? Okay, all right. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and continue over to the next part of the show. Growing up in a family blind to Democrat rhetoric and fear-mongering, I thank you for waking me up to realize I've always been conservative. Hashtag, get to that money, big dog. What up to my dog, Spider Clamp? I love my family. I don't know what makes me happier, Trump winning or RFK getting ready to be unleashed on Big Pharma. So much. Yes, I love. Hey, you talking Kerry's language right now. RFK is Kerry's favorite. Patsy Hutchinson says, Donald Trump and the Chasers, let's go. Big Money Trucker says, 2 deletion attempts, persevered through lies. Trump victory is the greatest comeback in American history. I agree with you. Gurr, shout out to Gurr, says, hit that like button. Like Ike hit Tina. I think Cam voted for Trump. I think that's smoke on the water also. Performance Ship in the building says, no more drag shows for kids. I ain't lying, right? Q-Chaya says, I just dropped some dollars on the stocks and crypto. It ain't much, but it's a start. Dollar cost average, big dog. Jump into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Time to get paid. No more dusty. It's all Jermaine's fault. I'm with you. Ellie Back says, I was wondering if she had a black husband. Would they allow her to run? I don't think so, son. April, what up, April? What up, my baby girl? Says, good morning, Anton. I've shared your channels with many people, and they all thank me for putting me on to you, a good advisor for those without one. I'm going to have to create an incentive program. I'm about to create an incentive program. I need to reward my people with putting people on to the thing that's best for them. And April, I love you. I appreciate you, baby. What up to Philip Sadiq, my dog? We did it. Shaming us didn't work. We are grown and can think for ourselves. Thank you. And no, thank you, Philip, for going out there and making your voices heard and voting for the thing that's best for us. And they said Kanye was crazy for trying to meet Trump in 2017-18. He saw the vision, says Lucid Experience. My dog Slimmy in the building says, you better thank a union member. We don't have to hear that line ever again. She won't be. Oh, don't worry. I'm about to make all of the things that Kamala Harris was saying during this campaign. I'm about to make them all of my different things. All of the laughs, the changes in the voices, the pitches, all of those things are going to be my keys. So instead of you getting the applauses and the dings, you're going to get Kamala Harris noises. All right? Yo, shout out to my dog Slimmy in the building. Tech Coach Ralph, what up, though, says, what do you think about the Biden-Harris administration will do in the last 2 months to make things worse? Open the borders more or go to war? I don't think that they can do either. And the reason why I don't think that they can do either is because basically they just ruining it for the next person that tries to run in 2028. If Kamala Harris is trying to be in office in 2028, and you got to remember that the Democratic Party is not ran by Biden or Harris, is ran by other Democrats, and that's one of the reasons why Nancy Pelosi was able to push him out of office. They can't operate on their own. They can't do what they want to do. They have to do according to whatever the party thinks is best. And that's why Joe Biden wasn't running at the end of this race. Shout out to my dog, Tech Coach Ralph. P. Shank says, morning, Mr. Anton Daniels. The people I agree with you, baby. Mr. Wombat says, currently rocking a dark MAGA cap at work. No olive branches for the demons. They getting that same energy they gave us for the last 4 years. Also signed up for the Patreon, and everybody salute. Shout out to the new bag chasers. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets. Come kick it with me in person in Detroit. December 14th, I might even have a rooftop party at my place. No Diddy, no freak-offs, all right? But put discount code Anton in there and come and kick it with your boy. It's going to be a great time. And make sure you join the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Trump 2024, I'm in a heavy debate with liberal friends, but we won. They lost. Get over it. We ain't even got to negotiate. We ain't going to even debate with them no more. Now we winning. Shout out to that. Charles Blanco says, I thought that Pennsylvania was going to be more competitive. You were 100% correct. Voted Republican for the first time. We turned it. I told you it was going to be a wash. Shout out to Polo. I appreciate you, big dog. DM6187 says, I appreciate your hard work, Anton. I voted for Trump here in Arizona. Blacks for Trump for America. Yeah, you did the right thing, and let's get this money. Zach. What up, Zach? Says, 80, I made a list, and it's in blood. Mopar Maniac says, just officially became a bag chaser. Let's run it up. Shout out to the new Patreon members. Euro 5008 says, smoking on that Kamami pack. Yeah, Mamala. Mamala. She's the Mamala of the United States of America. Carrie Spencer says, Anton, they over here on my timeline putting up prayers, comforting their crying kids and sending words of encouragement. We want that. We love it. We going to bask in their tears. Let me read a couple of more, then we going to get into the next part. You better speak, Anton. I remember too, says Anastar. J Swervo. Get your swerve on. Everybody get your roll on. I've been going back and forth on Facebook, and my comments has been getting censored. Don't talk to them. We ain't got to talk about nothing. And my dog, Tailored by Nature. Shout out to you, Anton, for speaking that fire language, a.k.a. Logic and Truth. That's Tailored by Nature. Shout out to him, Tailored by Nature, 6984 on YouTube. Make sure y'all go and check him out. He is one of the best content creators that I know, personally. I'm coming to Shelly O next. After this next segment, let's get into the show again because, again, the liberals is having a little bit of a meltdown. They feeling some type of way about what's going on, and I don't think that they're happy about things. So let's talk about what happened inside of the Kamala Harris campaign last night as they started to realize that victory was so far from their hands and defeat was starting to set in. They say it was getting darker and darker inside of the room. Nobody wanted to talk. Nobody wanted to have no conversation. Everybody started getting attitudes, started getting a little antsy, a little testy. Somebody tried to grab somebody else's chips, and then they started to get into a little kerfuffle in there. I heard everything. They got a mole in there, and so they was telling me. They said, Anton, it's getting dark in here. It's getting dark in here. and we don't like the look of it. And I don't know if she's going to be able to come out and speak because they trying to quell this uprising within the administration and within her campaign amongst her aides. They said it's getting dark and hell is hot. DMX came up from the grave and started dealing with people. The devil was loose. The devil was loose inside of the campaign here, the Kamala Harris campaign, not just at HU. Let's visit it. Let's talk about it. Make sure y'all hit a like from the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is straight from MSNBC, and we know that this is a liberal organization.
I think if nothing else, what Trump has opened up, yeah, it's a Pandora's box of madness and hellscape. We get that. But it's also,
and this guy, he's so unhinged, but we gonna get there.
Also opened up the American electorate in a way that no other presidential candidate has. And that includes Reagan and Clinton, who had that sort of, like it was said before, Clinton felt your pain and people connected with that, right? And Reagan, I mean, my goodness, brought so many people into the space, and gave them a voice, if you will.
Why y'all want us to have unified voices all of a sudden? No, we don't want to be unified. Shout out to my girl, R Streets. I'm going to read that shortly. We don't want to unify. We want to save you from yourself. And the reason that we're going to save you from yourself is that we're going to save us. But again, a rising tide lifts all boats. So just take this wave, get this money that we're going to get, benefit from it. Come on over back to the Republican side. It's better over here. It's nicer over here. We got good trees. We got good water. We got gold, frankincense, and myrrh. We got good religion, spirituality, freedom to do what you want to do. We're not even taking away your ability to eliminate babies. We still going to let you do that, but that's going to be on a state level. We don't want the federal government to have its hands in it. We think that less government is better. So no, we don't need to have a kumbaya. We're not looking for your opinion. We heard what your opinion was inside of the Democratic Party. We didn't agree with it. That's why we voted Republican. That's why we voted for Trump. For some reason, you think that y'all opinions still matter to us. No, we want to go ahead and win. You're going to win by default because you just attached to us because you just so happen to be citizens of the United States of America. You still going to rebel against it, but at least you have an opportunity to benefit. So this is what we want you to do. Shut up, ride this wave, let us get this money, let us turn this economy around so that you can afford to feed your children and stop asking for government handouts, and we going to run it up. But no, we don't want to hear no more of y'all ideas. We heard them. We heard them for the last 3.5 years. We don't want to hear them anymore.
But Trump is different from all of that. And he can trash the historic leaders of the Republican Party and people applaud him.
Well, and he can trash Latinos and women.
He also has a machismo and a masculinity that he uses very aggressively. And it just, for whatever reason,
masculinity that he uses very aggressively.
Seems to be very good at beating women. And Harris did this thing where she was just traveling all the time and doing tons and tons of rallies, more than he was. And she still couldn't,
I think this is I know it's painful to talk about, but it's an important thing to talk about.
It's how he's opened the country up, and what has he opened it up to?
That is, I want to bring in, pause on this because we'll come back to it. I want to bring in NBC News correspondent Amy Schelzinger, who's standing by at our NBC headquarters in D.C., and she was at Howard University earlier tonight. I think people saw her on television where the Harris campaign had gathered. We all watched and saw campaign co-chair Cedric Richmond speak, and he said earlier that we would hear from the vice president later today, and I'm saying later today because it's Wednesday. What else are you hearing from the campaign? What do we expect that to look like? Do we know more about what those plans are?
Those are all key questions that I'm asking people. Some of them are already asleep, so we might not get those answers till earlier today in terms of the details of when the vice president will speak. But we do expect her to speak today later at Howard University. And I want to just walk people through what the Harris campaign.
That didn't happen, but let's continue.
And really the people that are close to her have been like in the last few hours. They really did start off the night thinking 8 p.m., 9 p.m., sounding very optimistic, very confident. The vice president had been saying that she had the momentum. She was telling supporters in rally after rally that she believed she was going to win. And I was picking up on that cautious optimism. But right around 10 o'clock, 10:30, when it was clear that former President Trump was overperforming in places that were critical for him to win, including specifically in North Carolina and Georgia, I started to really sense a real shock and a real anxiety and a real worry from the Harris campaign and Harris aides. And that really just got darker and darker in terms of sort of their mood. At Howard University, people started to really have blank stares. They started to not be celebrating and dancing as they had been at the beginning of
we was watching. It was hilarious.
The night. And then later on, as it became clear that Donald Trump was going to be even closer to 270, especially after he won Pennsylvania, I started getting text messages from Harris aides who started pivoting, not from talking about whether or not she could still pull this off, but talking about how they would deal with a second Trump presidency.
They didn't even have confidence in her. Before the race was even called, the aides was already starting to text people like me and her. And they said, Anton, all right, we're going to have to make some adjustments. Breaker, 1, 2. We got to get up out of here. It's going to be a disaster waiting. We about to send our campaign manager out there in order to send people home. And we got to figure out what next boat to catch. We got to beef up our resumes because what we thought we was going to benefit off of, some people thought that they was going to be the House Speaker. Other people thought that they was going to be up there, Karen Jean-Pierre or whatever her name is that be speaking today. They thought that they was going to get a promotion in order to ruin the country. It was so many people said, yeah, we're going to be sleeping in the Lincoln room. And as Trump just continued to wipe the floor with this woman, they was like, oh, let me get my resume together. Fighting for chips. Now you want to steal chips. Because, see, they can't use them campaign funds in order to pay Beyonce and them no more. So now they want to start fighting for the chips. Get your resumes together.
One aide telling me that he believes that he's going to try everything to try to push back on these policies, but also try to figure out a way to love the people that he disagrees with. So it's really interesting. Of course, the vice president, he hasn't conceded. NBC hasn't called this race yet. But we are in this situation now where Harris aides and people close to her are definitely making the move toward how are we going to work with the Trump administration? How are we going to deal with these policies? So I think it's just really interesting in these wee hours in this morning that is, of course, a Wednesday morning. There are a lot of Democrats that are waking up shocked, or that are going to bed shocked, but are also sort of dealing with the reality, which is that they expect Donald Trump to be the president of the United States and come next year.
I've been thinking a lot about all those campaign aides who've been through a lot this year, a change at the top of the ticket, a tumultuous campaign. It sounds like what you're saying, Yamiche, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is that because it was Vice President Harris, and again, we haven't called the race, but right now, unless she wins the presidency, she's not going to be in elected office anymore in a couple of months. But her aides are talking about how she will work with.
How much they giving unemployment over in California? Let me look that up real quick. Give me a second. How much is California unemployed? $450 a week. $450 a week. California unemployment is officially $450 a week. That's what it says. Using the EDD's unemployment benefit, $450 a week. All right. Wage information to determine the weekly benefit and amount. She is now going to be laid off. So you can get between $40. You know that $40 would be hitting something different. You can get between $40 and $450 a week. That's the calculator if you're looking for your unemployment benefits over there in California. We're going to go ahead and get you up out of there. Let's continue.
With the White House, or how they will work? Tell me more about what you mean by that.
Yeah, so in talking to aides, they're talking about how they're going to deal with these policies. So these aides are organizers, they're grassroots organizers, some of them are people who work with big donors who put their money in the things that they think are important, whether that's climate change, whether that's reproductive rights, whether that's...
Listen to their issues: climate change, reproductive rights. People are broke. We have a homelessness crisis that got exponentially worse during this administration, and they talking about climate change and reproductive rights. When you go to Washington, there's tent cities literally steps away from the White House where they got snipers on the roof. If you go over to California, people are taking a dump on the side of the road, pulling their pants down with their balls sagging, and they taking a dump on the side of the road, and then they getting back in their car without wiping their butt, and they going to sleep, and they hoping that the police don't come. So that if a tow truck come, then they got to stay with their car, because if a tow truck come or if somebody steal their car, it's like stealing their home. It's like stealing their home. 100%. We have a homelessness crisis right here in the United States of America, and they letting in tens of millions of people across the border. People are taking a dump in the ocean on California. I kid you not, man. I kid you not. When I went out and I did a meetup, because I do meetups with my Patreon members, I went out there and I did a meetup. And I actually visited my guy, Jay Woodfin. So shout out to Jay Woodfin. And I think I was on Venice Beach. I seen a dude cock over, no drawers on, with his jogging pants, pulled his pants down, and took a dump right there on the street, and then pulled his pants up and jumped right back on his bike and was like, I said, everybody gonna say nothing? Everybody gonna just act like that I'm the only person that's seen him just cock over and take a dump? Is that all? Am I the only person that's seen it or no? Just confirming my time that I'll be on Fox News tonight. Y'all can look at me on Fox News on Laura Ingraham, the Ingraham angle. I'll be there. I said, ain't nobody else gonna say nothing, and we just gonna let this guy just cock over, put his balls out in the air, put the little doo-doo particles in the air, and then we just gonna keep on riding. That's it. And then we gonna get some more migrants over here, huh? Who gonna clean that up? Who gonna clean that up? That's fresh doo-doo on the ground.
Immigration. So what I'm hearing it's not that the vice president would be working with President Trump if he were to be reelected, but that all the apparatus, all of her aides are going to be in all these different sectors of society, that they're trying to think through how they deal with a second Trump presidency. So if he has a mass deportation policy, what does that look like? How do they?
It's coming. We getting all of the criminals out of here.
Push back on that. If he pulls back on climate change initiatives in this country, what are they going to be doing to try to figure out how to do that? In some ways, it mirrors what happened in 2016. There were a lot of Democratic organizers who started putting their heads together to figure out how to push back, even when they weren't in office, of course, as an elected officials, but they were trying to figure out where to put their resources and their time. And I think the thing that I'm sensing now, because a lot of Democrats have a sort of PTSD from 2016, one aide in particular was telling me, I need to figure out how to love people that I disagree with. So there's also...
Jesus Christ. Are you seeing? Listen. This is the type of people that she surrounded herself with. Listen to what she said. This is what one of Kamala Harris's aides said as they were losing the election last night.
Now, because a lot of Democrats have a sort of PTSD from 2016, one aide in particular was telling me, I need to figure out how to love people that I disagree with. So there's also...
This is how demonic this party was. These are the people that y'all were actually going to or looking to elect into becoming president of the United States of America. The aide said, I got to figure out how to love people that I may disagree with. What? What are you talking about? I got to figure out, so you don't know how to communicate? You don't know? Because see, contrary to popular belief, even though a lot of us align on this show, right, on the Anton Daniels channel, and make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. One of my favorite people that be in the chat is Eric D. Eric D fundamentally disagrees with me on a lot of issues, and that's cool. And I always say, for those of y'all that don't know, I always say this is not an echo chamber, meaning that I want to hear from everybody. You may have a difference of opinion, you may disagree, you may be liberal, or whatever, so on and so forth. But I don't believe in censoring people. The only time that I tell the moderators to mobilize is if it gets overly disrespectful, talking about something that's not relevant to the individual or the subject that we're talking about. If somebody started talking about somebody's kids, or they start disrespecting somebody's woman or something like that, that's not tolerated here. We don't do bullying inside of here, but we do force you to substantiate your argument, and we want you to stand on it. We may tease each other, we may joke, you may be liberal, I may be a little bit more conservative, but you may say something that may cause me to think a little bit differently, or I want to hear your opinion. I don't exist in an echo chamber. For somebody, an aide that works closely with Kamala Harris, to say I have to figure out how to love people that I may disagree with is insane. This is the feelings that they were starting to have as the polls were closing and it was starting to be called for Donald Trump, and they realized the red wave was taking over the United States of America. They said, I got to figure out how to love people again. I got to get a love and I got to get an acknowledgement to the people. First of all, I want to give a love and a shout out to my girl, R Streets, for the PayPal or for the Venmo. I appreciate y'all, everybody that support the platform. If you have not already, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We got a live stream this weekend. Also, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe if you've been here more than once or if you enjoyed the show. And then last but not least, make sure that you get your tickets to come and kick it with me in person. I'm going to be touring all next year. Next stop, Detroit, December 14th. Discount code Anton. Come and kick it with me. It's going to be fun. Let me read these super chats, and I'm going to go over every single super chat because I don't care if it's $1. I appreciate you. I don't ask for it, but I always like to acknowledge the people that support the platform. Shelly O in the building says, shout out to my 73-year-old mom and all of the black men that voted Republican for the first time. You better think a black man. Shout out to you, baby. I appreciate you. Jerome Wilson says, yo, Anton, black men like yourself, Angry Man, Brandon Tatum, conservative black black conservative perspective, ABL, and many others were a big influence on black men waking up and making this happen. Salute to you. Shout out to all of my friends and family. I seen y'all working out there. Mr. Joe says, for the collection plate, God is great. Hashtag MAGA. Cameron says, I've gotten so many I'm disappointed in you texts from friends and family. I'm just laughing it up and running up the bag. High Tolerance says, shout out to our resident lollipop head, Eric D, for speaking on behalf of the Harris campaign. You know that they don't like to say it out loud. Democratic Party has taken black vote for granted for years. We flipped on their asses. And if the Republicans act up, we'll flip on them too. And that's a fact, though. P. Diddy Epstein celebrity list didn't work. Oh, no immunity. Skinny Boy Django says, I made it and voted. I'm so thankful, Houston and Dallas. Max Travel says, good job opening people's eyes and helping to flip Michigan. Michigan is ours. You know what I'm saying? Bripto Briz, I appreciate you, says, AD, I was watching a group of black folks on Roland Martin last night. So much coke. These salty tears are so tasty. Good morning, AD, says Mr. My Life on Wheels. I hated that I didn't get a chance to see you in the ATO. Had my ticket and everything, but I was too much in pain to make that 2-hour trip. I feel you. It's okay. I appreciate you for the effort. More importantly, I turned 50 today. Bag chasers for life. Trump 2024. Happy birthday, my friend. Atba Marshall says, AD, I have been trolling my Democratic friends and family all morning. I told them that Trump was going to win. I was the only one in my family standing 10 toes down in D.C. on red. Bought stocks this morning. Keep getting to it. Get that bag. Chris James, my dog. Let me give a round of applause for Chris James. America literally went back to her husband and Trump said, come on home. Come on home. The streets ain't for you, baby. There's hope for single and divorced mothers. Trump gave you all hope. Hashtag baby mamas for Trump. I'm with it. Elam, shout out to Elam, says, dog, red 12, buck my whole family. And they still voted blue. And I'm the one of 4 children that voted red. Can't even talk to my family members logically anymore. Forever red. That's okay. They're going to come around eventually. Charles Moreland says red for at least 12 more years. I'm with it. C. Burris Bay says, shout out to you and your family, Anton. Hey, did you see JRE podcast when J.D. Vance and his father figure was the father from Boys in the Hood? I didn't. Gers says the people fought the system and won. That's why America is a beautiful country. It is. I agree with you. Cultivator says, the market has spoken. Thanks for your part and your voice played, AD. I appreciate you. Jandy, thank you for the super sticker. Miss Blyden, shout out to Miss Blyden, says, easy one time to get my fracking stocks in order. Adigula says, this is my first time voting Republican for Trump in advance. Let me give a highlight to that. Thanks to your podcast. Glad it was a landslide, no question. The working class have spoken. I agree. Jay Hunter Lee says, Brother AD, I wonder if the Chinese yen devalued. Tech Coach Ralph says, hopefully we get a Supreme Court justices as well. Jerry Savage, what up, though? Gmail says, the Federal Reserve Central Bank is still in the hands of Zionists. We need to take our money back from the private organization and back our money with something tangible like precious metals. This is the root of the U.S. debt problem. We'll get there. Perfect Peace Vibe says, thanks, Anton, for doing the Lord's work. Jesus is king. The Dems agenda must bow. Shout out to Perfect Peace Vibes. I appreciate you, baby. Hardhead says, all I see is red. My girl slept in the other room because of the election, the best sleep ever. Tay, what up, Tay? Says, hey, how he got to clean up their mess before he can make this country great. Right out of the gate, the border port workers' house prices, like, dang. My girl Carrie in the building says, Anton, thank you for covering business and politics the way you have. I know it pushed me to educate myself and make more informed decisions. Shout out to my girl Carrie. Mills 1000, wow, says, Anton, do you have any property in Texas? I just officially started my electrical business this year. 29-year-old licensed contractor, 12 years experience with connections to plumbers, sheetrockers. I'm ready to leave my secular and pursue my side work. Should I go and buy property in Texas? All of my property is here in Michigan. Y'all saying that Texas is the place? Shout out to my dog Mills 1000. Hey, how we got to clean up their mess before he can make this country great. Right out of the gate, the border port workers and so on and so forth. Baker's Block in the building says, I work at Adidas and everybody is pissed. Why? Vance Donald's in 2028. I like that. My girl Molly in the building. What up, Molly? You getting that 360 deal? All right. Word for Kamala is move around, says Dark 80s man in the building. Trenton is in the building, says, you know when a nation starts prospering, they're going to say it was the Biden policies and the Trump is taking credit. We ain't worried about it. We're going to run it up. My 82-year-old mom says she was praying Donald J. won because he don't take no shh, says High Tolerance. B. Tunson says, Willie D on his stream talking S. A. Hurt. Jarice, I'm about to go and troll on these different people's streams once I end this live stream. Yo, Anton, long time no watch. Easy dub last night. Where you been at, Jarice? Had now. Get your butt back in here and get this work. I'm a legal immigrant who was very sad I couldn't vote, but I helped by opening the eyes of a few that voted for Trump. Shout out to Kalisha Green. I love that. Hoping to be a citizen by the time Vance runs. My mom is 66-year-old and voted for Trump. I love that. Shout out to all of my legal immigrants. Thanks, Anton, for educating people about economics. I'm on it. Enos Luby is in the building and says, thank a union worker? No, sir. Better thank a brother. I'm in full patrol on Facebook, IG, TikTok, X, all of the names I've been called. We milking this. We gonna milk it. Digital Dash Trading is in the building. Digital Dash says, with the way the Latinos were voting for Trump, the Dems should have got Obama to yell at them instead of maybe George Lopez. Kevin's Corner says, where's the Alderwoman Harris at? She in hiding? Sean, I appreciate you, says, what's your take on the government being audited and how would it be done? Also, what's your take on no taxes on overtime? I love the no taxes on overtime. I think that the more money that you have in circulation, the more that you actually have for people to use that leverage it to make the American economy great again. And I'm not sure how they would go about it, but I'm hearing that Elon Musk is the person that's going to head it up. Say Maxis 80, they said to blame black men if Harris lost. Can you bring me to the front of the congregation? I take accountability, and so do I. Me University is in the building, says Cam had a mission to accomplish, look on her face. My girl, Messi, what up, Messi? Says this should send Kamala, says she's Hindu now. Kenya from Cali says, shout out to the black men and the Latinos for pushing us over the top. Respect. Shout out to Kenya from Cali. I love her. Krista Jackson says, make it trucking again. Make trucking great again. Trump will allow for our trucking business to prosper again. His win is a weight lifted from our shoulders. The last 3 years have been so hard from us, but we made it through. Shout out to Krista Jackson. I love that. Patricia Brown, I love you, says, I heard from an inside source Kamala was arguing with her campaign manager and her staff was asking her, votes, why are the votes so low in Pennsylvania? Mrs. C says, Anton, did you hear Laura Trump had 140K poll watchers and 500 lawyers in swing states? God loves us all, says, we appreciate your insight and coverage. God's will cannot be stopped in Jesus' name. Amen. Shout out to Squirrel. Squirrel says Kamala's press conference was postponed. She having to pack to get out of JD's new house. No hood rats allowed, featuring Goth Batty, says, we stepping on them. See you on the other side. Anwar Williams says, you got to laugh on Fox tonight. I will be on Fox tonight. So shout out to all of my people that's going to be on watching Fox. Eddie B says Kamala Harris moving back. Her concession speech is about as poor in taste as Hillary Clinton's or Stacey Abrams. And to think they were disparaging Trump for not wanting to concede the election results. Eric Wealth, shout out to my dog Eric Wealth. I appreciate you. He goes on to say, remember when they was asking J.D. Vance if the former president lost the election, will accept it as a fair election. And Kamala, we need that defeated speech. I need it for my soul. Don't worry, we're going to review it tomorrow morning on the Millionaire Morning Show. All praises to the Most High. Shout out to John Phillips. Eric Hardeman says, no increases in capital gains tax and unrealized gains. Let's go. Let's get to this bag. I'll be joining the Bag Chasers Club. Shout out to all of the new chasers. Let me give you all a round of applause. Don John says, 80, please do. The sniff, shout out to you. Joe Carrera goes on to say they should have let Biden go down with the sinking ship. Instead, they made him walk the plank only to let Kamala sink with it instead. But they put it on their shoulders. They saved his legacy. Aaron Good says they already going crazy with his black man's fault rhetoric, even though more than half of black men simped out for the Indian liar. Mr. Joe says if she runs again, she won't get past the primary. Sean goes on to say, why is it that the Democrats claim to be so loving but treat anyone like criminals if they go against any of their views or ideals? Honey Dip, what up? Vance's wife looking at him like he's her hero. Yeah, buddy. Dude, I'm so freaking overjoyed right now. God bless America and President Trump. DeFrank says, tandoori got fried hard. Black Kamala is done. Her tandoori got fried hard. Chris Hutchinson, shout out to my Detroit brethren, says for 2028, for the Dems, Newsom, Westmore, Harris, Cuomo, and Whitmer, no thank you, especially Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, is going to be Newsom and Gillibrand. It will be Gavin Newsom and DeSantis for 2028. Y'all really think that Gavin Newsom is going to run out? She will be going back to California to run for governor. Ugh. Geo Black says, adjusting my portfolio and listening to the Millionaire Morning Show, I call that my multitasking. My girl, Carrie, says she's going to take her husband's name and chill. Carrie don't think that she's going to run again. I think she is. Beautiful one. What up, beautiful one? I appreciate you. Thank you, Anton, for all of your work, and this is for the kids. Oh, you so sweet. Let's make America great again. Presidential in the building. Presidential says they blew record money on this campaign. No way she'll ever get party support again. W. Murr says Trump laid out a blue eyes white dragon in attack mode against Kamala's Harpy Lady in defense mode. Mr. Lot in the building says, shout out to the Good Morning text that went green this morning. Let the correction begin. Jeanette Beauty TV says, we did it. 4 years of Trump, 8 years of Vance, speaking into existence. My first vote in 47 years. Wow. I've been crying tears of joy and relief. Jesus and Trump fix this country. Angels and Republicans. Angels are Republicans and angels. Shout out to you, and shout out to you for being on the winning side, all right? Join the Bag Chasers off the $9 openings. Got Robin Hood downloaded. Can't wait to run it up with the family. Shout out to Stephen Butler. Willie Love is in the building, says, French whale bet 41 million on Trump. Easy. Wow. That's crazy. She going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. Forsaking our cap says CNN should be happy. They made so much money off of Trump. They're about to get a raise now. Woodward Ways is in the building, says, how dope would it be if Trump stopped the war in Ukraine before he actually get into office? I don't think that he should, because then he wouldn't probably get the credit. You know what I'm saying? Soldier251 says, 80, make sure you check on Steve, Ricky, DL, the Breakfast Club, etc. Their tones sound real dusty. Let's get this money up, baby. I'm looking to run it up. I see all of my stocks increase this morning. It's a bag chaser event. Tang Clan Emperor says, already under Trump, win first day, futures trading and crypto trading have made enough money to clear me and my wife debt. Trump, man, give me a round of applause. Pay that debt off. Joe Q, 66, says, Alito and Thomas can retire now. Can you imagine Trump will have named 5 conservatives for at least the next 30 years, best result of all. Shout out to Trump. For the Lapeef GoFundMe, Jesus Christ. Tyrone Dub says, shout out to my wife, God, family, and country, to you, the AD, and the Chasers, and my dusty uncle that told me I was voting for a dictator, then asked me for some money. When I said no, he told his daughter on me like a real man. David Tesham says, we don't just get Trump. We get J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., Ron Paul, make America great again and let's win. I love that. J-Dub says she going to cry in the car. Young Gladiator goes on to say, great morning, AD. Do you think Trump will update my family court laws? I don't know about that, big dog. Fitz, shout out to my dog Fitz, says, I got you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. My dog Ivan, what up, Ivan? Ivan says, we're supposed to believe 81 million people voted for Biden with all of the new voters, dormant voters, and enthusiasm that voted for the greatest showman and Mac. Yeah, I don't believe that either. I don't believe that at all. Dallas D says, in the famous words of Trump, Kamala, you're fired. Tammy Thomas, I am Savari. What up, Tammy? What up to you, baby girl? Aunt Chimama Kamala, washing greens in a bathtub with the red dot. I am newly retired Fed and a bag chaser. Iron sharpens iron. God bless, protect Trump and USA's God-fearing leaders. Doing my Trump dance, Safari style. Shout out to my girl, Tammy Thomas. I appreciate you for showing me love. King Will in the building says, Nancy Pelosi just said that it's not a good morning. I bet. Nancy Pelosi was one of the people that said that he would never win in 2016. Hey, do you know I'm pushing through Compton with a custom red 47, 45, 45, 47 MAGA jersey only hood I'm banging is my conservative interest. Shout out to Daddy Day Trips. La Fleur. I'm about to start talking about like Trump. Kamala did so many things wrong, I decided to vote conservative. Talk to him, LaFleur. Unbiased C. Ross says, we boycotting thanks to Slimmy, thanking Slimmy till 25, a hashtag non-voter. My dog Slimmy in the building. First, South Carolina, California voted in favor of Prop 36, so they even revolting. Thank you, AD, for all of the work you're doing to educate us, especially black people. I'm a bag chaser. Let's run it up. Some people mad, but I don't care. I don't care. Jermaine Faultman says they're already blaming me on Twitter for Kamala losing. Good. Antonio Williams says hopefully RFK can you get to the bottom of why other countries' food sources and ingredients are better than ours and why we have these chemicals in them? I'm with it. Retro Vet 357 says they need to call the other 4 states now. Brent is in the building and says somebody lying. Black women had to vote for Trump as well. The landslide victory is exposed all. How they say the math ain't matching? I agree with you, Brent. Jamal Fowler, thank you for holding me down. I appreciate you. Cy, shout out to Cy Lexio. Says, unlike the Atlanta Falcons, Trump was able to hold a 28-3 lead after getting Indiana, Kentucky, and South Carolina. Trump 2024 let us enjoy hearing the liberals and Kamala fanboys cry in defeat. Sub-Zero goes on to say, I am officially calling Illinois Smurf Island. Talk to him. A blue dot surrounded by a sea of red. Smurfs were always in La La Land, not having a care in the world for anything for themselves. Enter Trump. Chef 673 in the building. Shout out to Chef 673 says, shout out to my peeps in North Carolina for helping to flip it red for the beginning. Make NC great. Jimmy Styles says, with Trump back in office, I'm able to give my employees pay raises. I definitely needed that tax break as a small business owner. 86 Train in the building says, the way people walking around with tears in their eyes is entertaining. The numbers across the nation spoke volumes. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Main Law says, the way people are, no tax on overtime. Blue collar workers are hyped. Larry Summers says, I'm most excited about Ron Paul being recruited. They have left no clue how lucky they are that we made the right decision and voted for Trump. Regime is in the building. Shout out to Regime says, thank you for bringing Chicago to the front of the congregation. They cost me bands to make a dance. I have a theory though. I think they let non-citizens vote. The Happy Girl is in the building and says, I got a super sticker for you. Thank you, the Happy Girl. Self-Made Trade says, where's Trigger? Hopefully in Nigeria. Candace Owens just made red hat that says, made Kamala India again. Oh my God. Dallas D. What up, Dallas D? Says, all of the black women I work with in the offices today with closed doors. All the men wore red ties today, happy as hell. We can't talk politics, but they speaking loud and clear. I like that. R. Maurice. Shout out to R. Maurice. I told y'all that we read all super chats. We don't forget anybody, all right? Anybody that contributed to the platform, we got to show them love. I'm interested to hear about how Dems who try to get a gotcha moment when they equate DEI to the Electoral College accept and acknowledge Trump securing the popular vote too. It ain't no question. Jackie Dior says, AD, I want to thank you, Ava and Molly, for opening my eyes and changing my mind. Now, hopefully we can get to do the same to Trigger. Shout out to my girl, Jackie Dior. I appreciate you. Shelby, what up, Shelby? Says, taking a dump on the side of the road is a real thing. I saw it in Cali and NYC. Thank you for all that you do. I'm telling you, it's real. The people think that I was just joking, but it's a real thing, Shelby. Absolutely. Shout out to my girl, Shelby. A.R. Smitty says that election reminded me of Lions versus Titans. Trump really ran it up on old girl. Devastator in the building says, dang, where true to myself at? I don't know. Lion Dragon 28 says, amazing mood today. Thanks for the continued information. All comes back to the money. Join the bag chaser. Stocks is already up. Trump 24. King Shan says, Anton is saying we not in the right tax bracket. He trying to help. J-Rock 24K says, Trump got the trap bucking. I was late to the last call, AD. But guess who can afford a new Ram 1500 cashing out my Bitcoins? Thank you to Trump. Shout out to J-Rock 24K that's going to go get a new Ram. Says Harris' campaign was a damn circus act. No more DEI hires or identity politics. Agreed. Skinny Boy says, I'm screaming Trump took a dump in the ocean. Took a dump in the ocean and jumped on his bicycle. But all of them doo-doo particles, absolutely he did. Wesley Slipes says, I like that name. The gender war is upon us, y'all. The Crash Out crew active as F today timeline full of meltdowns, prayers, and insults towards men. I'm with it. We ready. Luxurious brand of chick poor voos. Shout out to you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Southern Diplomat says chicken bag going up. Sai, what up, Sai? Says thanks to you, Anton. I was a Democrat that voted for Trump. Realized that Trump was the best for the presidency. Trump 2024. I think that you're a Republican now, my friend. And that's a good thing. Jay Stevens says, what up, Tom Dog? Haven't been in the loop much on the Millionaire Morning Show since the time change because I work overnight. Just wanted to say salute, big homie. Never seen 10K in the chat. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Jay Stevens says, salute to you again. Thank you, Jay Stevens. Renee, what up, Renee? Renee says, I got your back with the 5-ball. Luxurious brand of chick poor. Says, off subject, I like the way you handled Yada Awakening, but I think the right president was Charleston. I think the right president was Charleston. I don't know what that is. Cheers to the sweet, delicious tears. BZE says they changed Kamala's speech to 4 p.m. Is it 4 p.m. or 6 p.m.? Let me double check it. Let me make sure I know. Let me make sure I find out. Actually, it's live in 2 hours. So it is 4 p.m. You're right. It's 4 p.m. So I'm going to be on it. I will be paying attention to it. I will be probably live streaming it on the Anton Daniels channel. So make sure y'all subscribe to that channel. The problem in our community is that never moved out the hood. They only have their perception of America based off of what Democrats have told them. I agree. Zora Design says, I'm black and Jewish and a woman, and I'm proud of my choice. I thank God and God alone for allowing my first time to vote to make history. Let me give you a round of applause. And I will be covering her live stream at 4 p.m. Thank you for letting me know that. Christopher Chapman says, I opened my wallet this morning and my dollars are already greener. Florida Panoramic is in the building. Says, seeing you this excited reminds me of a Miami meetup when they had strippers in front of the kids. AD, let us know what streams you're going to hit so I can follow you and dunk on these liberals. Well, I'm going to be preparing for Kamala Harris's live stream that's coming up at 4. New Republican, I'm joining you on the Patreon as well. Shout out to Bama. Jamal Fowler in the building. Ola Razi in the building. I appreciate you too. Thank you for holding me down. Billy Ray Valentine says, AD, so happy I found you this year. Became a chaser. Got my family stand on red business. Woke up to my portfolio thumping. Thumping. God got us, black liberals. Ivan is in the building, says, forget Creflo Dollar. We got Trump. Dollars cometh to me now. Money flow is coming back to the people. Trump united us. I hope it lasts. Don't fall for these false flags. JF Clover says, do you also support cutting funding to Israel along with Ukraine? America first. I do. I don't want to participate in any of these wars. Kamala finna pre-record her concession speech. Insane One says, I wonder what will happen to that campaign money. Maybe all those tears are shedding in California will take care of the water drought problems. Ola Razi, thank you again for holding me down. Jeremy H says, news saying black men stayed home. No, we won. Quentin is in the building, says, just a reminder, Slimmy didn't vote. David with a Y says, I'm feeling optimistic about the future. You should. 67 Big Mel says, let's make Detroit great again. We flip Michigan red. Flip Michigan red in 2024. Jay Ben says, Marvel Universe going crazy. Mystique lost, but the Avengers have been released. With great powers come great bags. They not like us. Antonio Williams says, new bag chaser. Let's get this money. My dog, Jay Woodfin, says, you were right, period. I'll go check out Jay Woodfin. He got some great content. Trey Fast says, so I didn't vote for none of them, but I am intrigued and I'm ready to make some moves. Okay. Smoke on the Water says, AD single-handedly got many of us to vote red. Well, I'm glad that I got y'all to do the right thing. And Young and Reckless, shout out to Young and Reckless, says white 71%, D 43%, RE 55, blacks 11, D 86, R 12, Latino, black people, all of that good stuff, what he said. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Again, I always like to read every single text message, every single super chat, all of that. Everything. I always want to make sure that I acknowledge the people. I don't let anybody go unappreciated. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, tap into the Patreon, come see me and get your tickets December 14th in Detroit. It's going to be awesome. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to keep y'all up to date. We back at it tomorrow morning. But today, we're going to be on the Anton Daniels channel, soaking it up, laughing and drinking their tears, creating reaction videos. And we're going to also check out her press conference of her talking about her concession speech. I love you. I appreciate you. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. Get your Tiege Hanley 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I love y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Thank y'all again. Y'all the greatest people ever.